avenues for him. And what he's saying, he said, are we creative enough? Are we, as citizens of Ghana, creative enough? And then everything in our every Mr. Said Sabato, our NDC communication team member. Sabato, welcome.
Thank you.
Cool. What is saying?
Then just my Ghana na journey huntino. And many na mama such a big platform opportunity say brand yambe cancer mum fire my one na was here rush na yaba. So far the and na meka even the president and Akufo-Addo has admitted say things are very bad. Things are not going on the right direction. To extent say ye betimi aye bibia fa hono no ene ye hwe say e betimi asina ye mindful ye nuanom ye maamenom ye wofanom unborn ones no how our future e betimi ye betimi manage your future e betimi aye successful eno ne ade a ye hwehwe enti wama ye platform yi time no so a ye be pense mu na ye timi hu de ekoso a ye free say aban ni tie ya ebetimi aboa ma bebia ye we esuatimi aba from kakra me da say ni search opportunity.
Thank you Mr. Said Sabato, we are member of NDC communication team member. And now you were Mr. Kate Yosin. Mr. Kate Yosin a PPP Progressive People Party chairman ewo UK. Na we dey ye be ye my apologies kakra because your flyers no go out, you know. Now it came out kissing Yosin. Now only the in fact name push you ye pa with you.
Oh, that it was saying there's no problem at all.
Yes. Now but I know what you say. Jenny ni
smooth. Train public transport no me by man fa SUV amba say Ghana no. Me for train bus and train name the budua.
Yes.
Ghana SUV, but I had the SUV in front of
and Mr. Jeffrey Dasibre, our MPP youth organizer or Manchester. And then we're experiencing some delays through and strike via ECOSO. Our Manchester trains now are running through Manchester. No? Because of that, time will be through, and I say more likely near a program. No? Apologies. Now, the side the overshot program, you say. I would last few weeks ago, and yes, okay. UK I could see Kwatin as Minister of Finance in Ghana. You can say I had almost say Chancellor of the Exchequer.
Yeah.
Now, for a year, Mary Elizabeth Truss on Friday also say I resign from the post because of all this. Mini budgeter, I could see a year. Now our former president Enra, also I hint to say, Wabusa Nanado say, only the also more no kwa, only leave Ken Ofori-Atta as Minister of Finance. No feed and woman, koye crack.
Yo, Minya.
Now we were based on 2016. The promises made 2020 and now, and is it time say Nanado or Ken Ofori-Atta be decided? Now says Omo Abeko and Nanado be reshuffle. Now what changing the team?
Yo, Minya, time and time, you know, in some way you can be brave. Now, me NDC near Meti idea. Unim say NDC, yeah, branch elections we back home and I know because constituency elections and ECOSO if we were near encouraging. So far so good, you know. Yente want you be and then areas maybe to about a china na omo I finish it up. And ye wo baby for a while more there ya hold on and say baby bear say 17 ya hold on by said the American ye ni na no we belongs to one party. If we unite as a party being on one umbrella, then we can fight our goal towards 2024 and beyond. And Timesre say this election year you know will be making sure say a party first. It's a lose or win. Na uwinia fine. You need to bring everybody on board. Uluswa, you need to come part of the team because it doesn't mean say you are not an NDC. We all know say going to the election, whether it's a branch election or whatever it is, in Uluswa, a hard junior pa. But inti yabesre se ubia and comport no ye said the beya ye nuanom on the other side no. Hardship ya e cause we are ye kan ho asemi. Omon ten ye election e be a 1 or 2 misunderstanding be a beba wo baby and family topic of the discussion. Na me go so American way me per se me free new we be as a constituency. The chairman of the party our constituency no Oheneba with the MP Honorable Adams, you know, and some patrons, they sit down, organize to make sure that if Mr. Ketiyosi need to go into my seat, they need to be very peaceful. I'm making sure that those organizations will take in place. I mean, no say they are just going to introduce your executives in your ma head and all my to so they did only few changes yet like on a post just say a very united the united wohona ye DJ ye city back ye de Emma John Dramani Mahama more numbers no and no anywhere to be as a constituency under the leadership of Adams Abdul Salam being an MP no ye person ye making it strong for the coming 2024 anything or don't know ye person our dono etna hono sa and beyond mini amaka enwe wi no you can yet ahani yetua ye taxes ahani ye bibi antino the affairs of this country no very important to us. So you could clearly see say on the political field no normal enkoye ama endo da me no ka say mudi for downgrade UK economy no me sure not because of say ebia sikasemo to but it means that the confidence in the market because when a be prime minister when a be chancellor these things not affect the market no very badly until obehwa endo da sad no eba so no minia let's trust echo campaign telling the party for the person why because na party for na to saba no say a person what the tax card na ohwe ne tax card or the buy na national insurance say ye na say bi no na only 1% no what so na 20 no the call 19 and na o ma Mr. Ketiyosi no masikafo no oba omo 45% tax cut tina manfo buza say enemre ye wa hohiahia mo ma o mo wobi no and I was drop o mo dia so na akoye huge debate and no ba ye no or how bre your finance set sector no of course the pressure will come to the chancellor who implement. Don't forget Kosi Kwarteng ni no ado wo mu Kosi ado Alfred Kwarteng. So yeah, no ultimately so was I don't know. Okay. Said I don't know share that you good science sound good because of the nanado yentino. Ya no mon time person mebo. Enti no buy no the pressure be beto ne so. Emma na was say or no ne yakono. People forgot say it was Liz Truss who went on campaigning. Promise say this is the way we need to go. And of course Obano say Jano Bono no one dreaming one quite say Samima Kula kwa ne was a menso me den menso me ko but of course na ye hwehwe no ba yam fan ko chancellor no so Kosi Kwarteng so ye body jano resign a prime minister no ebeko enti wo hwe se owo US ne ye frɛ no oduru fie ya nya tin kura ama no ene ye frɛ no ofun so se masa ye yiwe de enu nti na ye frɛ o ebaaye ne ya ponti Jeremy Hunt a former health secretary say on taking charge. If you may recall, when they called Jeremy Hunt, the market respond very quick. Yes, your pounds will not bounce so back against the dollar and the euro. No, that tells you say they have some confidence when Nipana Yabonidin to come and be a chancellor no more. And you know, say, chancellor, what are you doing? Because the chancellor, the very bad thing is that Mr. Ketiyosin came in and said, oh, mini budget here, I need to reverse everything. That clearly not actually say, and yeah, the papa. And now this prime minister, so when say on your elected one, or when he heritage, and now a quambia anywhere, actually say, or best survive. We all knew, say, so I follow a hand, say, Trent Acha. Yenim so obeko. But the man I call yen na me no a quick mommy because na me say I can't be say 2 weeks na oko but you odwene ne man ho odwene ne party ho ohwe opinion polls na in favor the party nti wono no odwene ne man ho first odwene ne party for no ka kire no 1992 committee for no frɛ no na e was say o give you up and until now so be making resignation statement so quicker or the koko, you know. And that's the difference between Yanni and the Abrofo.
But Mama say into the Mama is asking, say, Nanadu Beko, and I say, Obama Kena ko and over reshuffle the team. Well, the country is crying for a solution.
Yeah, meaning when you're a dear for Yabo Bosso, if you may require, John Dramani Mahama had a speech about Crossroad. Or no or my abaying 14 alternative. But the na ye critical stronger no person or mufa. Eye train eye dear wo boss yi. Ada say president who him say me no ka say presidential staffers in kwano. Eye 337. And all these staffers no they are among the Article 71 holders. And bear in mind this is John Dramani Mahama NDC towards 2025. No, yakasa Ghana for my yakunya. We need to review our constitution. Not only that, no, we need to make sure say ya ye bibia for Article 71 holders now. Ubengu aman for a lot of ex gratia. Ex gratia na ya no mudo many see MPs in Kwanso. They forgot about the judiciary, the presidential staffers, and the MPs are mebo omudi. Even a national House of Chiefs are than saying Togo Afede, Edin Isikabaya, no so So you and John Dramani Mahama said when giving the note to 2025 to form a government. These are the things constitution review, Article 71 holders to be reviewed, and then of course your promises say about you levy there, your best crap na in every honor. And it's crossroad no oka say president no on reduce the large size of government na a elephant no on so embra from enobema your budget na yeden or no ne budget no as a presidency no aba from ebiem economic management team omo wo sisia no ompam wo the tosoted ompam keno for yata minia time and time ni yakama ma example say even this is the president I wish last 3 months if you quite remember all the media houses no more put pressure on the government to say on your reshuffle. Making reshuffle does not necessarily mean say you need to sack somebody, but you can make such a democracy anywhere to be saying constitution a constituency election. They have managed to put some people in place that they free said they deserve to be there without any entokobia. So the president could have done a little bit reshuffle. Make sure because we are reshuffler. Foreign investors no benye GDF for say kola na aba. Oh, ya wo GDF woni mu. Enti so obi invest obi jani sika wo oman ni mu a onim sa owo ani da so. But one face in the GDF ni mu ya ka ebe sisi amen ho ka say. And na Akufo-Addo say on that. Just 2 weeks ago, it goes around Kase, the ministers in Ayade. It is the ministers in Ayade. That's a resource we need there. Then, so the former president has every right to demand, say, Osake Ken Ofori-Atta, and I say, although the president and at the moment, will do the needful and resign. Maybe a vice president in taking charge. Maybe a no, the new GDP, a system.
Thank you. Mr. Aketi, you're saying what in Mina?
Yes, Mr. Kula.
And what you comparison? UK, the way they operate, Ghanaians want something to happen.
Yes.
You see, I know. We are looking for solution. Apart from the president and the government, or everyone, we are going to be a solution of this. And you see, economists in one year. Indeed, you're watching, you see, I know. Where do we go from here? Does he on resign, on reshuffle? Where do we go? Although Nana said in the plans about in the course of the program, you will talk about it.
Yeah. I think I will say good morning to my fellow Ghanaians and my party leadership, Dr. Papoku Sindom, to remain stronger and stronger. See, Indom speaks no. Yeah, can say a bo, but say available. Most of the bo, and kind of with MPP government, unfortunately, I mean, they have failed us. It has made Ghana a failed state. Omar will fail. There's no way, just like somebody is half dead, you can't revive the person to full strength. Yet, you say, they've got about 26 months or so to go. We are praying that that time will come. 7 December 2024. We are praying that it will come quickly for us to give them P45 or to say goodbye. Thank you very much. But they couldn't deliver, Mr. Kula. Can you, anybody will challenge me, I'll be prepared to explain, convince, and persuade them. NPP administration, I'm talking about them because they are in the government today. Since 2017. They promised us so many things they could not deliver. One district, one factory was excellent. I loved it when they came to power. In fact, my party and all Ghanaians, we clapped for them, including NDC, CPP. We are all Ghanaians. We clapped for Nana-Addo. If he was coming to deliver one district, one factory, my goodness, there will be millions of jobs for our brothers and sisters. It has not happened. When I question that, they say, they've done somewhere. I'm not saying they have not done anything, but please tell the people of Ghana how many factories you have created or built, and how many human beings have been employed in there. That's very important. Otherwise, there's no point in building a factory.
Nana-Addo a good salesman.
Good campaigner, rather. It's a good campaigner. He campaigned, he brags and all that. There was no substance. It was very embarrassing. The promises they gave to us were excellent.
That is a very good salesperson.
Yes, he's a good salesperson, but the stuff he sells now no good quality, But it's disappointing. He's got all the power. Nana-Addo has got all the power. MPP, they've got all the power to the extent that when he's coming to the Western countries to beg for money, he rents a private jet to come. And it costs us a fortune. He should have come here in a t-shirt or whatever, and even chaliwote or slippers to come to 10 Downing Street to beg Mr. Johnson at that time. You will understand. But if you come in a tight suit and rented jet, it says you are rich already. So why are you coming here? These are the thinking of the Ghanaian. It's not good. Mr. Kula, there are very serious problems in Ghana. Very serious problems in Ghana.
Now,
let me I was there. Just
how long did you spend there?
I spent 6 weeks
and
in Ghana.
Some of your observations.
Yes, one most critical experience I had was on Accra-Weija Road. I was going to a TV station in Nkrumah Circle, thereabouts, from Weija. I don't know if you know Accra very well. The West Hills Mall, that kind of area. And traveling on the road, you could see people with disability on the roads at traffic lights begging for money. You sit in the car, you see a cripple who stands about 2 feet tall, puts his hand on the window. I was frightened. I've never seen that before. Put his hand in the window. He wants the money. Not that I won't give him money. But a car could go over that man. In fact, the big trucks on there, they would easily trample over that guy without seeing that they working on that.
For years.
Yes, Mr. Kula, but a government, a listening government may see and do something about it. I'm not blaming NPP government for that. I'm blaming every government that has happened. But they are in government today, in power today. These things, these people must be housed in the proper facilities, employ people to look after them as it happens here. There are people with disabilities in the UK, but we don't see them on the streets begging. They are housed properly. You see, that's what we want to see. Ghanaians, we are good at copying. We are copycats in Ghana. From president to the downtrodden. We are very good copycats in Ghana. There's nothing wrong copying. But we copy for the sake of it, and we don't work with it. We are rather worried, my party, Progressive People's Party, are worried about the poorest of the poor in Ghana. You see, poor, they have no choice. The poor people in Ghana, the boys and girls, 13, 14, 15-year-olds, poor boys and girls who sell plantain chips on the street, is disgusting sight.
See, social welfare is not working. Ministry of Gender and Protection, and that ministry is in charge of disabled people, who, vulnerable people in our country.
Yes, that's right.
It seems like that department, Yes,
Mr. Kula, that means the reason is that we got bad leadership, that's all. I don't blame the Ministry for Social Work or Social Welfare. I blame the top leadership, the boss, the gaffer. The gaffer is the one to blame.
But we have universities.
Yes.
You know, young people are coming out every year.
In Ghana.
In Ghana.
Yes,
almost
right.
University, then they graduate coming out. But still, no, this in terms of what you are talking about.
So, these are the guys who were driving me when I was in Accra. The minicab drivers and Uber, Bolt drivers and Uber drivers. So we find that they are graduates or undergraduates. Some are undergraduate, studying in university, but because for the sake of going to the classes, maybe in the morning they will be driving a taxi, in the afternoon they go to class. That's very sad. I talk to them, they speak to me. You know, very intelligent men and women, not only men. You know, it tells you something. For the students to stop, stop classes and come to drive minicab and all that. I'm not saying it's a bad job. There's something wrong which has not been addressed by our leaders. That's what my party would stand for. Address the need of the poorest. We are all Ghanaians.
We're living into expectation as a finance minister in our country.
Yeah, that man is collapsed Dr. Papa Gosindom's banks, but he's got a bank working and his company is taking bribe or commission from contracts, British Ghanaian government to do any contracts. For that as a business, data bank or God knows what it's called. No, it takes a cut. And Ghanaians are watching. For Ghanaians, we are timid people. We watch and pray. We keep praying to God all the time. We are over worship God. Even God is angry with Ghanaians. They are assuming too much. Monday, 7 days a week, we worship God. And when you see this in UK or USA or Canada, no. There's a time to worship God. God himself created the world 6 days. 7 days he relaxed. But for Ghana, we worship God every day. To the extent that we are even dreaming or thinking of building a national cathedral. But I believe even if NDC comes to power, even if Progressive People's Party comes to power, we will turn that place to accommodation for the poor and needy.
Nanado, I'd say, for the measures, they have assured Ghanaians. He assured Ghanaians yesterday that measures are being taken to resolve the fall of the cedi. Afis was say, prior to the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, Ghana had one of the fastest growing economies, not just in Africa, but across the world.
No, that's not possible.
Huh?
No, it's not right.
Are you saying the president is lying?
I would say lying, that would be a big one. But he's not saying the truth.
He's not saying the truth.
What's
the difference between not saying the truth and lies?
Because in Ghana we respect our elders, our seniors. So I'm not going to say he's a liar. He knows it, but I don't want to say it. But it's not. It's far from the truth.
Ghana is was one of the fastest growing economies, not just in Africa but across the world.
That's a powerful statement, but it's not true.
Yesterday.
Economy, when you say economy, I mean, you referred to COVID-19, isn't it? When COVID-19 came, British government gave them billions of pounds. American government give them billions of dollars and all that. Why will the world pay you money? Why? How much has Ghana given to the rest of the world because of the COVID? Mr. Setekwe, the former finance minister in Ghana, when we started, that is, Ghana started receiving free handouts from British governments or overseas governments in the name of COVID. Mr. Setekwe, no, I beg your pardon, it's not Setekwe. That guy.
Kind of
not Ken Ofurata, Auditor General, I beg your pardon.
Auditor
Domlevo, I'm sorry. Mr. Domlevo said, look, I am going to audit you. I'm going to audit you, so keep a different set of accounts for COVID receipts and payments. Because of what this statement this man made, they tried to get rid of him. And now they said he's overstayed his terms of office, his age or retirement and all that. But mind you, Mr. Kula, in 2012, or even 2011, I read the accounts of the Republic of Ghana. Complete audited accounts of the Republic of Ghana. I took my time to read word by word, and the auditor's report was beautiful. And my analysis or summation is that audit report I read, it meant there was somebody who was a civil service at age of 115 years, he was still being employed. When Nkrumah was overthrown, the people who were in the ministry, they were still there. These are the ghost employees. Ghost employees were there, and I found that in 2011 to 2012. So the structures that the Auditor General at that time, God knows what work they were doing, they were rather supporting ghost employees. But Mr. Domelevo was doing a good job to warn Ghana government to account for every penny they are going to receive. But I'm not sure this has been done. They find a way to retire this gentleman. And that is not good. For somebody who in January 2017...
You're talking about Ghana being the fastest growing...
No, it's the slowest growing rather than fastest. Yes. We have no economy. We have no base. We don't manufacture. We import everything. Even toothpick. Who person who shipping down cry? This is we import batches as a wood machine down. What I say? If you want to burn somebody's house, you need to import matches. Come put Kede matches factory there. They cancel it. They say yeah matches Ghana cry. Matches cry say import. Toothpick we use bamboo.
You think say only na my home chile say because we are very dependent over the years. All our goods and services, most of our goods and services through importation. From abroad.
Of course, importation. We are importing economy. We are balanced market.
But we have a lot of mineral resources.
But we have not got the brain to turn them into finished
with
product.
All these universities in Ghana.
Yeah, but
community leaders.
I don't want to condemn the universities, but they are there for the sake of it, for the sake of degrees. Get the professors and whatnot. They know what I'm saying is true. What have they done? But of course, I mean, I don't blame them so much. Ghana government.
Ghana, doctor this, doctor even Omo Muprichi Kurano. They are all doctors.
Yeah,
majority of them is doctors.
And some professors.
And professors. And what is that giving us as a country?
Yeah, because we've got a weak leadership at the top in terms of Ghana leadership at the top.
Yeah.
We've got no direction.
Oh, you're a professor, so what have you done for us as a country? Yeah. They say, don't ask what your country can do, ask what you can do for your country.
Yeah, we hear all these rhetorics, it's good rhetoric, but in reality, that's what I've told you, most students of economics understand what I'm talking about. I mean, we're talking of inflation and all that. Inflation, common inflation is killing Ghanaians now. Prices are going up. We are talking of the cedi. Nobody needs this Ghana cedi. That is why our cedi is falling, because we do not export.
Thank you.
Yeah, export BBR. So our cedi is not known. We go to London branch bank and tender cedi. We say, what the hell is this about? They haven't got a clue what cedi is.
Thank you.
But not the dollar and not the sterling.
Thank you, Mr. Kitiosi. Sabatu.
Yes, sir.
Nanado say, from the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, Ghana had one of the fastest growing economies. Not just in Africa, but across the world.
Kola. A tomre bi ayana I say Ghana for no I say ɛyɛ no ɔmo refi sɛ yɛkan nsɛm na yɛnim deɛ a na ɛkɔ so nso okay when the president is saying say Ghana was one of the fastest growing economy from when from say ɔmo took over to the power meboa ɔmo governor be 6 years ya yɛwɔ mu ɛyɛ no korrect tama na ɔmo baayɛ no na the economy no grow as a fastest economy within the sub-Saharan Africa. Why was it that? Kyerɛ sɛ na NDC dan no obekaya 2015 ye forum ye invite other civil societies ye invite professors here working intellectuals those kind of people included ye nuanom MPP for sɛ baby a yaduru no ye sika no enso ani ye Ghana ekɔ ahokyerem ya pese ekɔ IMF na omo beso ya se na your economy no enya some boost up na foreign investors enya GDA we mu omo mbra ne entena senkasa they refused to come others came honomo no and ye ko discuss the way forward in tia ye pese ye call IMF ye kire Ghana for say the doomsday has dealt with us Arab Spring enso ba mu ebe dealing with Ghana enunti na ma yenya crisis bi a kan so say satam na ye only one oil field somewhere pipeline be a failure na eno so no yentimi krampon producing the numbers we supposed to do enunti na ye call IMF ama IMF for program no it was 3 years Mr. Ketiasin eni etie for muntie mi ye it was a 3 years program e started 2016 2017 2018 IMF for predicts the Ghana economy will grow 7 to 8% in 2017 same as 2018 Young Koshe, did we achieve that or not? We did, because at time now we are in IMF program confidence in the market from foreigners amanfo nkosesa omusika straight away say omudi ko omukuro enti na no makoso na Akufo-Addo buy no enti nye bibia no mbeye ye o 2019 and almost standing it's a sanki free mu 2018 they extended that IMF program to 2019 somewhere match samobekaya if you may recall the president formed a 19 committee members included this Imani boss what is the name Imani he's a deputy that man say on kasa 19 nipa 19 why because the city has then depreciated 8.5% so quicker omo dwene ho a omo ntiase enti omo nkoye bibi no omo nso ase eno ne ye ba beka ase ade na obeti sa committee na baumi anya den enka ho bi so from then na omo announce so omo exit IMF no the confidence in the market started dropping from then no satam na me no ka say na COVID mbaye anameboa Ghana we discover our COVID announcement 20th March 2020 Bayman de satam ne akoye 6 March wo Kumase ye 6 March na COVID ababa na Ghana yendim tum so clearly IMF program na ye call ye na nhyehyɛ ye no eno na raging results from 2017 2018 ema na Akufo-Addo abanya na omo dey bo besia because IMF program na omo person omo kosi say what it is and say foreign investors ebenya confidence wo market enti wo kobo besia ko babema after all wo backing bi wo eno ano no enti we ya omo kosi ya approve ni ya diska kakra bape omo be fair no ho no omo de akoche na a lot of loans ababe ku ye kanu yes ye kanu mu enti no sa fastest economy ne growing na do kanu was all done organized by the NDC yenya IMF World Bank for support to say ye be grow economy no. When they exit the IMF program, where are we now? Yanko baby. Now we are back.
This is
to
what I'm
IMF
saying, sir.
Again.
Ukraine war and the effect of COVID.
Yes. As for the Ukraine war, yenya yawaha, yenya effect because sometimes your fuel prices echo so. Nancy I started air drop kakra. So that tells you say the management of the economy no they are working. Your inflation rate are stable kakra. Last month this month in a 2% ebeka ho near 9.9. Any free hormone any about 10.1 into a not say last month na normal boarding. Fine, but Uko Ghana since January, you see the started say a depreciation. Inflation started swallowing like balloon. No. Have there been any change? No. So that tells you say any ministers are you more other benefit. Maybe no me and yeni president any vice other benefit or more. Maybe no only Mr. Ketiosi yeni no. What are they doing? Not just one more that. So this is the time either they will act or they will resign from their position.
I was say.
COVID was even a blessing to Ghana. Why? Under the COVID, and the IMF former $2 billion US.
Yes.
IMF we are requested for 3 million. Yetimi mukra some the bema 3 billion US dollars. Okay. Yama 2 billion. Yantimi am fan yet normal was ye. Now we are going for a loan of 3 billion. Compare that. If you covered in a yani NDC on the other side, you sika IMF for the 2 billion makai. World Bank for Becas or Musama Yesika, you sika Bank of Ghana, the man buying, you sika never buying cocoa fire. That alone tells you, say, yenya almost 35 billion Ghana cedis. I can offer tabi bu wakonta NC susu ameka say when the parliament resume and no meba bebu sankonta na mayelo. That tells you say nya COVID a yekoya. Sa sika ya ameka nkiyenya. Having said that, the finance minister own budget ababe kachire say COVID in the buy we have exceed our revenue target. What does that mean? Say COVID buy a yampa nemum your revenue target say ye penny nano. We will manage to have it not only ye a CD ye say ye pay £10 ye nya £20 and I say £15. The last time I buy no follow short it was January to March 2022 as at time no person we implemented ye levy if you quite remember. So clearly say ye COVID say ye COVID there and no crowd there breast in Ghana because Ghana Faso enyesika but kola ye your neighbors Burkina Faso Togo Ivory Coast even Burkina Faso at the moment are almost a government through coup the inflation rate is 17%. There was a time any Arab Spring high but me stood on the platform say why would that alone affect Ghana? It will left Togo, Ivory Coast and Burkina Faso to strike Ghana. Any adjoining and nothing say this government, one, they have no clue. They are only interested within themselves.
Nanado, the steps biaba or say office it will help maintain things and helps us as a country.
Yeah.
Or say one way, one of the ways towards bringing the economy back on track, the president said, is the approach to the International Monetary Fund, which he described as an important step. After so, I say, the other steps will be taken, in particular, to deal with unacceptable depreciation of the city. Reigning inflation by bringing down food prices is a major preoccupation of the government. And this season's emerging successful harvest will assess us achieve the objectives together with other policies. Ghanaians we are predicting a successful harvest. And if it doesn't happen, and this is a government plan, I say go to Chachan.
The government, there will not be any government plan.
Successful harvest. How do we know it's going to be successful or not?
Kola, there will not be any government plan without you reducing the size of your government, without you living on your means. kola ye te krom hemi saketi yosin se o budget me fa ne say a week say went me anye overtime and as a month went me anye overtime now unim say we income e ba ni so what do you do as a person? You reduce your expenditure. Clearly, if the government want to make sure say things are turning back, you need to look at your large government size, the people that you have under you, working under you, 377 staff, you need to reduce them. I know you're back. You need to change out your finance minister, and then your two. So
government steps now, they are banning. No,
you cannot do these steps with the same person in charge. So okay say abrofo omajim say kosi kwate by I don't know man can say oh he has only been in 1 month until let's give him a time.
And he's not the only one who has been sacked before.
I know, but he is the only fastest chancellor.
Yeah, second fastest.
Yeah, you know, included the prime minister.
44 days.
What does it tell you? It tells you say one more day no mistake. And what abrofo no we mistake you need to be punished because now kwa na we nipa. And one thing na yeka time and time ni say foreign investors beja o musika o mo sesa demand $. Na ye reserve ye pegu ho no mo from time and memorial. Ana eno ne sustain ye no. And the ni na sorte e be kakra ni ye need dollars e wo any foreign country biom. What does that tells you say? The foreign investors and they have lost confidence in the market. Who is the head of the market? You know, as the finance minister, no one can say and he insists say, check that man out. You need to honor Fenipa from Bra. And nothing I'm catching say when they mention the name of Jeremy Hunt, you know, the market respond. The pounds you know started fighting against
looking at the MPP now. What name would the market respond in Ghana?
That
is the question.
If you make it, we don't say they are doing very badly, but changes is very important going forward because they are not willing say or more resigning. Nanado is not willing to resign. Say me will say. Now not the other confidence.
There's no one there.
So
is there anyone there who will take that role?
For you know, they have a lot of people who can be in that role. It doesn't necessarily need to be somebody who's a financial aspect. Listen, it doesn't. Jeremy Hunt, if you check now, it may be say only even the knowledge, but you know say
history.
Yes, you have other people that you work with them. You have other people you work with them. So truly, you know, those are the normal unique. So if the president wants us to see, say he's very serious, then he needs to sack Kenoforiata. Dissolve this core management, economic management team. You know. You want to reshuffle 1 or 2 be, then the confidence of the foreigners will say, let's see what will happen. Maybe they will respond to what because now they are maybe no say there. The demand of the dollar will still go up because of the Christmas. People needed more dollars to go and buy their goods and come and sell. No, so clearly, no, these measures are okay. It won't take us anywhere. Like you can chacha. This is all manya. Ya spend the sika. I was so called planting for food and so on. And do the chia sub-Saharan Africa. Rate in the buy, you know. Ghana and you do any boarding, followed by Senegal. Ghana, you do any boarding by 22%. Senegal follow with the 11%. So that tells you that this government, Nana Akufo-Addo, in every sector, we're fairly Ghanaians.
Thank you. Mr. Yosin.
Yes, Mr. Kula.
One of our viewers is saying, said the UK system of governance is different to that of Ghana. Say, the way I structure the BBAT. You know which at some point in the argument.
See, it's different from that of Ghana.
Yes.
Of course.
See, the UK system is different. And people should not, to me, comparing Ghana and here sometimes makes it very difficult. It has come to note, say, majority of people in Ghana keep on saying, oh, we are seeing an ID. Aha no ID. Nipa no onye eduma etuanika. Onye eduma o, onye ska o di bedi ni benefit, universal credit, ni danka is paid.
Yes.
And then they get money, even electricity, they say, oh mama, they concession.
Yeah.
Just say, they help support to people. So Ghanaians, you stop talking about the UK government and the the whole world is this because Africa is different.
No, no, it's a people putting these arguments are ignorant. Me in school I want to I don't know what so we call Sunday schools and basic schools were Ghana. Any true Ghanaian knows the story of Ghana.
But this one, he was talking about something else. We will go about it.
No,
but I'm just saying this. He was saying the UK has a parliamentary system, whereas Ghana operates in parliamentary. We will go into that. But the main thing is people get support here.
Yes, maybe. That's why I'm talking.
Yes.
Ghana need because I know what most people don't know. Kwame Nkrumah introduced Social Security. He was not a stupid guy doing that. Nkrumah introduced Social Security in Ghana. I think in 1965 they started to implement it. He borrowed it from the United Kingdom, UK. Nkrumah was a widely read gentleman. He knew what he was going. Nkrumah, had he stayed for more years, Ghana would have been a welfare state. I know most people don't understand what is a welfare state in terms of Ghana. But a welfare state would be a country where you don't work, you still get paid. So that's, we had income tax already before Nkrumah left. And Nkrumah introduced Social Security, just as we do in the United Kingdom. So if you work here and you pay your tax, go to Bradford, go to those tax office, you pay Social Security and you lose your job, that's why you get your benefit from the Social Security. In Ghana, nobody gives anybody even a dole. Do you understand? The Social Security is at the bottom of developing into a welfare state. Labour government brought that in 1945. We failed to learn that's Social Security. God knows what do they do with it. It's now SSB Bank and some rubbish banks and whatnot and whatnot. The purpose for which Social Security was introduced in Ghana by Kwame Nkrumah was to do what I'm telling you, was to do what is being done in the UK. Nkrumah was widely read gentleman. One man crying, no, one stop on, then nothing. The Social Security, I don't know, take it. You move it from our salary. Therefore, if you receive 100 Ghana cedi a month, no share tax, no share Social Security, you get about £45 now. What about it then? That's why armed robbery has been a good job in Ghana. Armed robbery, a good job in Ghana because Ghana wouldn't need car. Wouldn't need any benefit here. The only way to get money is God knows Sakawa. I don't understand exactly what it is, but I understand what an armed robber is. Armed robbery has been a lucrative job.
And why do we have so many blind people in Africa?
Blind?
Blind. Because I don't know what's going on. Who is a Ghana? And if you have almost stressed it's a lot.
Yes, but some of them are also fake. You understand? Some are fake because there's no job to do. There's a profession now. It has been a culture. You understand? They beg because nobody will give them money. You've got to pretend to be blind, and at the end of the day...
You can't say that.
Yeah, they do. I've seen some in Tokyo myself. I've seen some in Tokyo myself when I was growing up. There was a certain man living at the Zongo. He was supposed to be a blind man. And those small boys in town, they took his money at the end of the day. Now this guy could chase them. He chased them and retrieve his money. So it's not all gold that glitters. We understand it. So
going back to our debate. Now, Nanado, MPP plan or Nanado's plan, right, for economic recovery.
Sure.
Part of it, IMF, and I feel harvest. They are looking for a successful harvest.
Mr. Kula, thank you very much for the word harvest you have used. I grew up in the background of Takwa. Takwa area and Ghana, really, area, the farmers, the poor farmers, tomato farmers, cassava farmers, and all sort of farmers, if it rains, it's very difficult to drive to the farmland. In the United Kingdom here, I've worked in northern England, and going from London to that place in Boston, you pass through beautiful farmlands to go to where I go to do my work. Beautiful, good roads and all that. The farmers, they've got tractors, and vehicles can drive into there. But Ghana farm, you cannot drive there. If you drive there, you can't come back because you'll be in a mud. You'll be caught up in the mud. The United Kingdom government, Ministry of Agriculture, looks after the farmers. That's why they are richest people in the UK.
Yes.
They are farmers. You know, in Ghana, you are a very poor person when you are a farmer. Do you understand? So, one example I'll give you is about tomatoes. Tomato or cassava farm, whatever. Whatever these farmers produce, they cannot take all of them into the markets. So 50% go rotten, Mr. Kula. 50% goes rotten. It makes farming a very bad job to do, you know. But here in the UK, they support the farmers.
The government plan,
government is harvest. It will be successful. It will take one. Do
you think it makes it worse from what Kennedy Agyapong was saying, if both of you have heard it? That graduates going into farming are FOOL.
They are fools. Is it? But you know, he's
I will ask a producer to check for us.
To check for us.
Yes.
That's a very ignorant thing to say, because farmers rather.
This came up. Yeah, it has come up that this is what the debate is going on. Who you graduate and you go into farming now. Kennedy Agyapong is trying to say it's a dead end for you.
It is not. Unfortunately,
so that is described as FOOL. Yes, the producer will confirm.
Let's go to KNUST, Agriculture Department. They will tell you that what Mr. Honorable Agyapong is saying is not the truth at all. It's the opposite. So when our president is talking about successful farming, there will only be a successful farming if the Ghana government support the farmers.
I will let you continue, please. Yeah. What we are saying, producer, is that Kennedy Agyapong has mentioned, and it has come up that what he is saying is that graduates who go into farming, they are described as FOOL. And this is a very strong statement. Could this discourage people going into farming?
Well, enye nwanwa na say enye ade eye foforo for say wo president na Akufo-Addo otimbeka say wo ye teacher ni a eno nkire say wo be yesikani a so eno ma ho kwan Kennedy Agyapong ebe ka sa asem ya wo kan eno ntina nda obehwe anipa bebre person be ya amanyosem. Why? Because it's on free say a honom na quick sikaye den. E want to say what is encouraging for say ya. How do you think say na yes will be a farmer does it necessarily mean say ono na ekwakoto cutlasses say ade akwakodo ana. You supervise, you put money to make sure say ebia ebetimi are resource aye den amount. So clearly no aban no enya say bia omo ye week no nkwa no. Omo kasa kura na omo ne Ghana for kan the moment into no and also kura ni gidie bi anye den enim enti na abeye so difficult to say and adwuma den pa to defend this government enti say we MPP ne we defend this aban we a ye fra wo program so kura wo mpesa obekọ go wunim say wo koyi wanimu na ekwa kogu ase so clearly no ye wo no ma bi yo hodo ma ekoso he minua last year alone tomatoes are free Burkina Faso nkwa $8 million. Burkina Faso by ye beka kire o say ye planting for food e wo Ghana ya spend sika bebre e wo planting for food so clearly no enya ade a eye bibi fufufufuro bia say president a ye won okrampo no ebetimi akoka say we teacher na no nkire say obenya sika e no kire say we there enti unya tape na betimi abo ama watiefu aye den.
The rate, 15 and then anope 16. And one of our viewers is saying, maybe say we now for your twaso. Why? One of our viewers is saying he thinks is this ingenious to blame one particular government. Successive governments in Ghana have failed in managing the economy. We must be honest and say that our leaders have failed. What is the current expenditure of the country? What is the country GDP? The depreciation of the cedis is not a new phenomenon, and we must not question our leaders. So what he's saying, if we go to the IMF because we fail to meet our obligation to the repayment of our debts.
Okay, so Kola, proud to this your question. In 2016, na election year, somewhere 10:45 p.m. 5th December, when him said 5th December, the 6th year, yenye campaign or Ghana. ade echi ane ekwa akoto aba yen hwe de na na Akufo-Addo etwete ya that was 11:45 p.m. na chesa akaka kra bi within 1 hour wontimi nye campaign bi otwete say I have seen how drivers both private and commercial struggling to pay for the high price of fuel and insurance premium. What was they trying to achieve? Because near Baba Betuaba, this was 2016. Or person say, well, who a bra Ghana for a bra?
Yes.
Yenu mo muchi trotro. Any private for how a petrol boy again satam no near to petrol for 14 cedis per gallon. And the petrol ya okay, 65 cedis per gallon. And ya no kwa and some Nana-Addo Saka ye about CD wasema yeken. This post was also a tweet post was posted on somewhere 9 p.m. na a election year May. Nana-Addo said the current depreciation of Ghana cedi against the US dollars is all because of bad leadership. Nana-Addo 2016. The current, I'm just saying this because to say message how can any panic patcher say depreciation the any abetnache.
That's it. Successive government failures.
Yes, but this was a candidate no Walker said the current depreciation of Ghana cedi against the US dollars is all because of the bad leadership. And what the two also said, we should not be where we are today to buy $1. 3 cedis 72 pesos. Vote for change. What was it trying to achieve? It's on and on and on and on. Or no waka say no, nagabi ochere da konso ne wafa say. And so to it. A day and waka, or say Mahama, my approach will be different into Okasama ne wafa. My approach will be different from the tax borrowing and spending approach of Mahama administration. Vote for change. So it goes on and goes on and goes on and goes on. You ready about Miakanye about 2016 and Sana
the head of economic
management team. We will stabilize the cedi and bring down the interest rate. We will transform the financial sector.
And when the fundamentals are
weaker, the exchange rate, will expose you. So clearly, this government has no justification whatsoever to continue with the affairs of Ghana. What they could have done, they said, Nana-Addo some previous years, during campaign times, went around to, or was sharing in Kofobi. A honor or said, under Mahama and the late Mason, the dollar is $1, 2 cedis. Kofour $1, 1 cedi. Forgotten. Sir, Kofour 2008, a cedi denomination. Your tete is 0 free so, and a bear match 1-1. Everything a yana make us, you people for sometimes no move free say, ye mubi no. Yan kwahwe no ma aye den. Etwam, entu omo kan we ya na amanfo bi a wo so omo fa no. Na omafa. Ba yen tenase bi emu enhwe se sa na o ma ne bekoso. Sa atam na o kan ye wo sa de so say so wano na ye the late miss and Mahama and Kobe resigning. But when I know them, they will hang on to the power. Are we going to allow them now the followers and just so no? And under your leadership, not a dollar no crane, won't be who they are because you better now hey say your tenor, you be free hand and quite 11. And then the cost of market no cry after him say.
So remember what was and Rami Sunday Sikamobi. Now you're 1550, and then I hit it according to Unity Link. It's gone past 16.20.
You see,
it's running, but the fear is it going to hit the 20 mark?
It will go beyond 20 by December.
It will go.
Vote of no confidence.
Me landing. The aname person making nane say. Satam ya president ne vice omo tweet omo ka asem kase no wan kasa wo ka say wa ka kire say when the fundamentals are then na the CD exchange rate will expose you.
Yes.
Satam na no they are saying say the ewo ho no na enye papa So clearly, no, said the war no nya papa. Now under your own leadership, no, we could not even justify how our city no is failing, how inflation rate go. Said the cement board at here, said the normal boss it here. O can say obibusa na na kufado okoku my sister nana. Cement here 65 some places, maybe $70. No, and the young phone into means a month for to mu shop more catch and say call and say me minim a family once and about and what are you doing about that? So clearly no president a biomu baumia so bekaya near our vice president, the late vice president Pakosi Misata. During the campaign time baumia was set almost 75 or 10 questions amano. So we answer some questions na economy no ebe papa. De bia onya platform or say me try say Pakosi Misata ebe answer questions no. Of course Pakosi Misata is late, but you are in charge. Why don't you answer those questions yourself? Because one out try said ebe ye betimi ye free sa or how ya ye way mu. Things are no good. Nenya yam kwanso na ye kan. Nutina who is president ko baby under ye bu no. No abeka say ye NDC for na ya organizing nipa say ye nkonkokru no. Enti no clearly no they also don't want to admit say they have done something wrong. They have look, this is the president Obaya Oyi 126 ministers. Do you know how much it costs to manage one minister? Ewo Ghana. Oye yen when we ho or start the referendum by just to create another 6 regions and benefited to anything. Ask me say regions are you creating 6 can when the regions a 16 no. Say nye di ni kaka. E den yetimi ananakufu ado yetimi ayama sa regions no.
Thank you.
That's a call.
Thank you. Mr. Kitiosin, what you need now? But we have such a tier for say alliance in your beer too.
Thank you very much. Yes.
And tier for your beer alliance not too. No, you're not money here 07513688333. So we free other countries so 00447513688333. Now face you know esa wo yeah screen so we betimi ehun no screen so. Mr. Kitiosin, if I hear cause say as a country because a lot of things have been said.
Yes.
See no. They say no nipa bebre see omo hu ba bia nenam.
That's what I want to explain.
But the blame is the war in Ukraine and then the impact of COVID-19. This is what the government is saying. The government has yesterday come out with some steps. Part of the steps, they say IMF. Part of it, they say your harvest, your agriculture. But one thing I want to say is we call Ghana more recently. Ghana more are very nice. But my friend almost Ghana rice. Nothing will let them eat Ghana rice. But yen fakoi because I think say we thank you. Pacha one friend now free.
Pacha your friend me free.
Hello.
Yeah, Pacha Timenga.
Yeah, yeti unka.
Your friend me free me kasa free better.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Free.
Yeah.
Madam
You follow my program no. Na who be that question be say a good father say then I say or the near my go akwa my be ma Ghana san fa no to my prefer. There be the fish or buy in Fincia. E dey ade no wetima ya e Ghana ni hwa otimi say e koso anti that and ye wani da so de ma kufu ado near pipi. En Fincia wotimi nya hwe. Ai de Ghana economy. Na mfie mi no aka na obetimi de ayede. Papa we ya no se be oponsam ana John Mahama
Mr. Free yesro kasa yie ba yesro
kasa na ne kasa no na no ya to aba ma asantememu na wonya utumi nyina free ye na asantifo se ye kwanye enti ye kwa ma yenya udi atem enti dia kasa bi na pese yan kan kire papa we atenie na wono odi Ghana fo no Ghana for nepe and Akufo-Addo anya ye no di atem because Akufo-Addo nko wansem fata so obey Ghana president that be because agene no form because Akufo-Addo baye only the luckiest president nka waye kra because obaye bibia ya hyehyɛ ama no and so abaton ni nyina di get fund waton di asra waton di road fund waton di su adia na John Mahama afa nya Akufo-Addo oba kura no ya ma oyo fred mienu aka ba ko a ya betru ya wa ma wanya miensa ni nyina ne wasa de Ghana akwhye ba bia ye hyewe ya na wo pese yanka de asem na nkyerɛ masa Ghana fo nya moa ni ye ntu MPP nyina mfiri so ni ye san tekere Ghana ti se de san ye nkroma ye no because this time no enya ndis ni ye to abama no ye to abama Ghana sa de fa ho di ni nyina me da so ai.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Yao. In term a free year. Yeah, Mr.
Yes, Mr. Kula, you know, we seem to miss one simple point. The city. The question is that how can Ghana city be relevant? Our city can only be relevant if we have got the manufacturing basis here in Ghana. The cocoa which we have, raw material goes out. Then they produce Cadbury chocolates for Ghanaians to go and buy. The gold that we have in Gold Coast, Ghana, what do? We export them. Now it's even into Dubai, for Dubai to manufacture beautiful trinkets for ignorant Ghanaians to get on the plane to go to Dubai to buy. And the gold is in Ghana. It's in Takwa, it's in Konongo, it's in Obuasi, Pristia. As I say, we are sick in our heads, but we don't know that we are sick in the head, Ghanaians.
You're talking about the whole Ghana.
Yes, of course, every Ghanaian who goes to Dubai.
Before you go on, this is what Mr. Jones is saying. He's saying the current economic situation in Ghana has caused credit agencies to downgrade Ghana, making the country a high risk for investors. Even if investors should continue to invest in Ghana, the interest rate will be exceptionally high.
Of course, yes.
12 times ahead.
Yes. Thank you, Jones. Thank you, Mr. Jones. Mr. Kula, this is what I'm saying. Any serious student of economics will understand this. Even secondary school economics level, over TSA. They say, why do we produce, or why do we have agriculture farms in Ghana? God has blessed us with farms in Ghana. What do we do with it? At the end of the harvest, Nana Addo says he will want to make it a successful harvest. I hope to God he can do it. But I believe he cannot do it because careful planning prevents pathetic performance.
It's a long time I've heard this word.
Careful planning prevents pathetic performance. Do you understand? I mean, look at the poor farmers who go to the farms to work. Tomato, cassava, even cocoa and all that. You know. Before their produce will come into market in Kumasi or Makwala or Cape Coast market and all that. You know. Then 50% is gone. A far uproar. So we are farmer, we are wasting your time, you and your husband or your family, you waste your time on the farm. Goods na mobile town. Only that's where the problem is. Ghana government is nowhere to support you. You understand? So government, if they want a successful farming as an example, we must go there to the farm to even take their goods free of charge. It's Ghana government money. Gold is the same thing. We must encourage the setting up of goldsmiths. My father used to be a goldsmith. My father was a goldsmith. Because that's what the gold was. That's why my father was there. He was a goldsmith. Do you understand? A goldsmith is a person who goes to the mines or who buys gold bars or gold dust and manufacture it into rings, into necklaces and all that. Goldsmith.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So see, that's what we call finished product. Then here the gold raw coal is what we export outside.
Yes.
Raw cocoa is because we are ignorant, we export outside for Cadbury and Schweppes.
You better continue. We have a caller.
Okay.
But one and friend after free. Oh, Mr. Also a child. Yeah. Now I just say, how are you? Long time.
Hey, Mr. Kula, we are behind the scenes working for the NDC of the Power 2024.
Okay. When they watching in
yeah. For my friend, I'm the chair,
Oh, thank you very much.
Great work. And Mr. Kios, my defender,
It was it. Thank
also,
you.
about to can in the small Kenyan, one part of it, but so we can the fastest growing economic market and the average selling kakra, 1 year good for what Ghana or no Mabo Ghana. The good old kind said, my team to control article never a break. Assessment of the Japan. The Honorable Fan said, another way that matters for the corruption, only opinion, only distributed. Crossing Jano, Adriano, it's Blaster House, who work here. And I no one will be so. Okay, they're going to say budget, okay, PBS budget, okay, way budget, you know. He is the one doing it. It's a cooler. Menu cafe. I'm not good for a more practical gallant economy. Because I am a program, what's the time wanting? And the Ghana economy net the year grew up to 8%. If you move free, you know what happened again. Or more the capacity, I am a but I am a program, no what's happening because every I am a buyer. I want to catch up and say, oh, yes, you have Franco for the core century. Do you know, sir? Because of century, we got at 1 billion project. I am a program, I meet me upon a century. I want to decide in the bank. And then Ghana, we are not importing gas again. At 12 years supply the whole Ghana gas. You took gas deal. You crack good oil, say crude oil never power your power plant. If you are married by, and the car power by, you so doom so. If you go further, he is the luckiest president that is about to kind. Because the airport, you are 12 gas. You are coming 3. You are stranded and Takwari port. You are 2 secondary schools. Every sector was working.
Mr. Usuachan.
What happened? Mr. Kula?
With the answer of Landino, the government has come up with a plan, steps to help combat this kind of predicament, and I say you go through as a country. What do you think about the steps? Are you aware of the government steps to fight?
Mr. Kula, only step be about to catch up there. Cut your expenditure. Reshuffle your ministers. They all have great panic and furata. Cut and sack him. What did they go on sacking on? Cook Martin say, so what to say? And now, as you are at Jane Pastor who different for the yes, Cook Martin say. Obia or senior years of the Bia, Monimbe was a Marco. What I will tell you. What can you sort of show me touches? The Enkuziaga. But the time between this business and this year, but the never be. I could see as what you see. Must say, Omoba power no. They are practicing galamsey economy. Yeah, Mr. Kula, Mr. Ketios in the boss. Najima no, I from the GM Bank over 300 branches across the country. Uguno, a court and some many see. What happened? So, Kwame fast go in the bank, Romania idea. Was spending 21 billion Ghana with a bank. That's kind of confirming it. The NDC, the MPP 2017 budget here, Mr. Kula, the American say, about the MPP governor bought NDC, Juma boy, you will see. You know, the American said, so what's the boy about some boy, Mr. Kula, Moya de Panyamish, God bless you. Bye bye.
Thank you, Mr. Usuachan, for your contribution. So, I mean, it has come up that
yes,
Mama C and Sake Economic Management Team in the country are going to this. But former chair of the Finance Committee in Parliament, Dr. Mark Esibe Yeboah, in fact, no, I am wild, was see
one of the brilliant guys they have ignored.
Yeah.
Was see Dr. Esibe Yeboah has described the 5-member committee announced by the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta to engage stakeholders on Ghana debt management as a joke. This is very serious. Ken Ofori-Atta taking the time to gather all these people, but now it's considered as what? total joke.
Yeah.
He said the debt situation is a government matter, not private.
Yeah.
He further questioned whether the team members can handle the legalities of the situation at hand. Is Dr. Esibe Yeboah, is he right or is he right from what he's saying?
Well, absolutely right. If you form a 19-member committee in 2019 March, which does not come to any effect, then why going for 5? And the Mr. Sibe Ekanokrano, it's a government matter, no person watching. You have people within the government, they know what is going on. So why don't you look at then I was a coffee man from Abontia? So what try will be an the simple solution. Once a salmon. Moamona, when we started now we are an encoso. Kula Omega Radio. Yeah, more followers. Bears at 20. The be our babatenasi be a me jina which is oh, Kula host there or my viewers and no shakra until me attractive viewers. Give me the opportunity. I will bring you more viewers. Me, some be host to her. Now when so any producer, we will make sure that people will follow Omega Radio. We will take Omega Radio into a new direction. Make sure that it become very successful. And yes, okay, ya te ya do mine amount. After the wo buy ya me subscribe to me buy ya. Wo numbers are and the viewers numbers 81 the program ya or mo hwe ye ko be 90. No ma ba be kata after the ye betena se a me time no na ye 50. Na ko 30 na ye 2 for na 1 na ko 20. And you still insist say who ye be papa. You need to resign from your position and then go because the entire kind of Oriata Abeko outside, Akofa man from outside, and they say they cannot look into his face and tell him the truth. But within his government, so what referee was saying, or even boldness, they will tell him, say, we have failed as a government. And no idea or person or yet, and no idea or person utie. Minia, and nuti, and the timima obia brantie, and timiko sign and also wahomaso. Our high tension cable so ebe shift from say the hardship na ekoso Ghana no onenya but of course former president John Dramani Mahama issued a statement condemning Ekwanya of us who and say there are opportunities ahead and no answer about voice as said the mama a platform we say yambe kasai ubetimi akọ Facebook ubukura na afia wakọ Sunday we must ubenya amanfo a ono mbeye debate na akamu down than say you go and take your life or say we don't support those things no saade ya branch ye Nana Akufo-Addo was championing in 2016 and all the Arab Spring one Tunisia guy on the setting on fire or call radio so every here and there no can want them what was it trying to achieve they are no can say or person maburu bi sorry yes sir by end so what cassette here Nana Akufo-Addo whoever you are they will come after you na nadwa no ye board one ni team omutimi kasa e chairmanfo e kono omoba no and uka bibi na etia no pe they will come and take you like a rainbow star clearly no this is the government
people are afraid to express themselves
because you want to that means you know and ye penny be kind no culture of silence and the way say uwie program we say o man about to cancel be anya ye de na ye still warning what he thinks that bring your confidence down into u betena se a asem bi obi beka kura anya Mr. Yasin untimi nkase because u free her pressure na ebeba wo so no so and Ghana so ade babako a emboy say ye FM station and other platform no ebeya amanyofo stations most of the FM stations in Ghana belongs to the amanyofo enti say ye fa say ye adwuma ma ye na obetena se na ka bibi ebegu me hu fia
But I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is what has happened to Ofosu Amphofo then? Because since that investigation here, why go very quiet?
About what? Say, say anything I make us say. Obiase de obi anywhere. Bibi beba beto so a o kona wo ba intimate distracted from what activities are wo ye den wo ye so dem say and ye drive you crowd wa na ye so akofa baby ya ma penalty charge ye till 3 points ne ade a wo utiri mu saa ma enti wo drive kra na no are very careful every kra baby e wasa wo 80 kra na 70 sorry kra na obo say na wo ye 50 because and look at now it has bring your confidence down and the media no is the part of our democracy or can for and the manu esipim no and the yen said the Nekufado to 2 media na say there was one lady there last week or popping into the social media na air trend say or yeah juma or kofi no can fix the country no once or send it to it adia change or buy yan and the boss say you come here. Why any program you oba be any program or why the be friend is one bra no say mete set so you say that be bra director hwehwe wo okọ ya na odi ni phone kire no say then now say no so because me free say ekwan ya me fa so kofie na fair no kra ne boarding sa atem o se no onika
yes
abaye be ka nanum asem na ye the test no kire no from the president himself
that will not be
e ne ka kire ni say that
is not true unless your evidence which say that.
Matthias, it has
been debated.
Yes,
all this.
Yes, I'm just saying what the lady point out to be. And I was say free one. Of course, ye different human. So the me person make say normal ekoso under the leadership of the Nekufado. Say yeah fighting against Galamsey on one kasa promise yeah and they a under his leadership no. So clearly no the person me point out to say o share asama owusu acha babekan aban bia so person hu sa aban kwa anima a capital investment percentage they came to met no omunduru hoda ye free aban mu na a capital investment na a capital investment ay 4%. Aban buy the best achievement ay 1.8%. What is capital investment? They said they mean be can terminal 3.
Yes.
Ye gi sika $1 billion a year to gas because Ghana now you spend $350 million in a year. At the importer gas eba enti ye behu say ye betimi aye bi enti spending $1 million and me no ka say yani ankasa ye yetimi manage ye ho 85% of our gas e wo Ghana eno na ema ye resource is paying back say ye kofa America and ye tua America ema ende America no abeye Ghana property name of terminal 3 and etua or mine and Kasaka. These are the capital investment for you to know, sir, buying a Bessiana or Bono. What the yebi papa more minor percentage in the neck and the percentage does not favor that because at the moment they are doing 1.8% compared to 4%.
Thank you. Mr. Kitiosin, sir, a scientist, a political scientist at the University of Ghana, has asked President Nanado to order the finance minister to seek assistance from his predecessor in addressing the current economic hardship. Professor Ransford Jampo said Tekpe has enough knowledge that can be useful in these times. Is it a kind of a degrading, a kind of pressure on Ken Ofori-Atta now?
In fact, I wouldn't see it as a...
How would he be feeling himself in terms of his own values? Where there is like almost half of the population by research is saying he should go.
Yes, he must feel very uncomfortable. And I will blame our national parliament. What is the all-party finance committee doing? It's a job that they got to do. Both NDC and MPP in parliament, and the finance part, they must sit down and debate something like that. It's very important. how to,
Also, go on. Hold on, please. Go on.
how to appreciate our citizen. Citizen is more important than everything that this once you resign or whatnot. What can we do to make our city worthwhile? Though? Mr. Kula, that's what I
But who's going to do it? Now,
yes, of course, we. Anybody.
the country is put to a test.
Yes, we have
Because the country rely on Ken Ofori-Atta.
no, we
Now, because as a finance minister,
first, yeah.
But now this, Professor Jampo is saying that no, uncle the predecessor, no uncle Oman Mbabuano. I mean, if you are Ken Ofori-Atta hearing all these things, do you have to keep quiet or do you have to come out and say something?
No, it must tell him that there is something wrong that he's doing. That's what I think. It's just like a boxer in a corner. After the fight, the third round, they tell my friend, you are losing or you are winning. If you are losing, then you have to up your game, or they'll throw in the towel. Do you understand? But right now, Mr. Ofori-Atta cannot throw in the towel. In this position, of course.
Do you think you should come out and say something?
No, I think the parliament is rather weak. It's not Mr. Ofori-Atta. It's not Nonado. They will go parliamentary committee there, please. Let us give them the regard and respect. Call Ofori-Atta, sit him down, have discussion with him, and craft a next way forward for the next 26 months to go. So it will be very difficult to say, oh, my friend Sifo, we are Africans. Ghanaians, we are very deep-seated people. I know. There's a way to deal with a Ghanaian by not going to him directly. He said, Madam, this plan is not working. Let us try this one.
But Oti normal way now. The course on Oti.
Yeah, Oti, but he's confused, so he doesn't know where to go. That's one point.
But why is Kennedy Japan is there? Alan Kyerematen
is there, yeah.
Bawumia. These are all presidential candidates for MPP, and they are all kind of muted, quiet.
It tells you that in MPP camp, there's a serious difficulty in there. There's a problem within the ruling government, its party itself. There's a serious problem because people are not talking to each other. They are not listening to each other because this is the president people or the finance minister's people. Bawumia is one side, Kyerematen is one side. You know what I mean? They are disintegrated.
Mr. Kitiosin, we are very sorry. There is a call here. But
okay, let the caller come.
Yeah, but your one friend not free. Yo, Mr. Osu Chamanenko.
Yeah. Mr. Kitiosin says Ken Ofori-Atta is confused. I can tell you that Mr. Kitiosin, the man is not confused. You know what he's doing. Ken Ofori-Atta.
What he's doing? He's doing. Yeah. What is he doing?
Good question. When you say, yeah, well, enterprise insurance, Ken Ofori-Atta, as you say, anymore. And a state insurance company belongs to Ghana government. And to say, yes, sign contract via a insurance one. State insurance may take you over. Do you know second and for a buy in? What Salani state insurance and enterprise insurance and a Ghana government? Do you know it? Do you know that the Ghana Commonwealth can refer to the bank and a financial advisor with percentage? So here's the problem. Only walk in the Frata. Do you remember the time no more opposition? The Kula, so the Uber for Gino, our bank. That's a bank and I can say for fear brand patch of Ukufino. No, Latrano. You choose the building and also property, a document. Now that you know me, boy. And the more opposition in 2016 can refer to meet come MPP headquarters. The Kula to the Mekan Can Ofori-Atta that time on your MPP national executive member. Yentu Abama on your ordinary president me for time MPP national headquarters. Every Kwaji loan bank. So me can be boy or be a metal me boy. And this man will use MPP national headquarters Kwaji loan. And now I am finance minister. Do you think the Ghana economy because here? Okay, say. Me feedback from the caller. And that's what I can say. Ken Ofori-Atta, what you say, take a finance minister no on a bank here, benefit from Ghana loan be about Ghana, Tama, and more, no, not Ken Ofori-Atta become rich. Bobosia more na dollar cosma a jedefo a kind of thing, for banks a then can the Frata mafia group they become rich. I can't become a buana.
Yeah, thank you.
That's the truth going on. The master say, can you Sabato can capital expenditure, the Kula Mitro, doing your time. Go to 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020 budget up to date. Oko budget demand. Ube say in 2017, capital expenditure was negative or positive. Who might going to because who draw budget the year or previous years in front of outlook and you were part the end this year in 2016. And no positive. But from 2018, capital expenditure via budget be converted the capital expenditure.
Yeah, that was say Mr. Also a child.
The last word I make can say. The NPP government, this government, they should go 2024 because they are confused.
Thank you. Mr. Ketiosi, answer because no, yeah, that Jones, I Jones, who comments in Mr. Usu a child, Grace Aqua, or say Jones, thanks for the enlightenment. Audu Van Bell, good submissions, Comrade Sabato. I would do a boa basso, and I am in team. A free year on Sabato more fire. Jones be Mariam Mahama or watching it live. Mariam, ye nimba be a free. We know you are watching it live.
I say Baba Jikoko.
You Baba Jikoko, Mariam. And Jones be Eric Kwame Duku or say our biggest problem in Ghana now is a Kufuado, Baumia, and we the Ashantis from Obrimpon in Germany. Inti, I say, your biggest problem. Ekuya Dansua, I say, is it true Nana Akufo-Addo is practicing galamsey economy? You be find out every Mr. Ketiosi ne Sabato ho. Keller say, you guys are not being straightforward. The fact is not being told. I only heard one person saying the truth of all Ghanaians. Only President Mahama spoke the truth as is supposed to be. And Hadel Abdullahi, I'll say, Kando Sabato, great submission. The bottom line is Nana Addo has succeeded in collapsing the Ghanaian economy. This is what he said. You're saying call and sign your bet to us. So, yeah, me bacho one friend, not free.
Now, you will be with us, a young person, a Akufo-Addo practice galamsey government. Because the captain saw the work at the Catinano, and they say, walk at the Abisidan. Or one crop food in the chair, or Catiso, not make a Catiso, now almost baby. Good share. In Tia Akufo-Addo first, the whole Ghana, or Catiso, baby, are not interested, baby. Good share. In Titanity, the never know the deep galamsey Huga. You can go for a year, Cadena also. Karen no jimi panisho abra wo appoint will be no ye adwuma wo Jubilee House wo no ya tene se wo disika wo galamsey ho want man nyane 30 executive chairman MPP chairman say 30 yesika inti yenye galamsey want man nyane hwe obe woman organizer akoko che no atiwa a wo hye ne niema enna mu dane ko try kan na chew na mo se mo de yeke ana masa di na hye mu bi. In the Ashanti region, Senegal Gracia na account near Akufo-Addo galamsey na moya. One PP chairman Ashanti region. Are you want to me? One no two galamsey say and say yes you. Unko two for or no dimiti when min meko. Sale galamsey ne talewa sale. And then Ablantia would do Siketani regional minister Siketani. No discane breo. Or the ba Jubilee House. And also Musifino, and all the Ghana. And the woman of Kushu says Canaya. Junior Galamsey, we are there.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was
it. Galamsey, we are there. Akufo-Addo Galamsey, the year Sherman Koso and say Ghana, sir.
Yeah, we will come to Galamsey. Ansana,
one year to Galamsey. In the American, I'm not boy. Now you took Galamsey, and Akufo-Addo, the champion of Galamsey.
Thank you. Mr. Ketiosin, member, Mama, our former president is asking for Nanado and Bawumia to apologize. I mean, to Ghanaians for the economic crisis. According to him, they have failed to deliver on their promises, and that the campaign promises made by the sitting president were nothing but lies to the people of Ghana. Ghanaians want a response from the government. What response na Mama on here, CCI? Because they say Nanado ni Bawumia mra out. But here we go. Bawumia also wants to continue again as presidential candidate for leading the MPP.
Oh, he will be very welcome to do that. As former President Mahama has said, wherever he is now, we say good afternoon to him. But he's made a strong point. We are talking as Ghanaians, not at different political parties. It is true. The promises given by NPP in 2016, they were excellent. Excellent promises. Only 82 Bahama at that time, I remember. Because I was also part of the people who went to Ghana for the elections. I was there when my party lost, NDC lost, and Nanado came. There was great hope for a change.
You were in favor of him at that one.
No, seriously. I had lost in the Western region, coming into Central region.
The promises were very excellent.
Excellent promises.
So when the NDC says that, the Omu you feel it's not Wiemu, but
not in 2016.
You see, for the 2016 there, I was there, part of the victims, you know. So the promises were okay, that if they were delivered, that's the key word. If NPP was able to deliver the 2016 manifesto promises now, Ghana would have been a great place, because they said, I will mention only one example, from Takoradi to Paga, the southern Ghana, or western southern Ghana to Paga in the north. One say they will do train services. And do you know what the economic benefits we should accrue to Ghanaians? Takoradi to Paga, and economic activity will rise in all the train stations to Paga. That's what it means. Yeah. The trading now, and Yama Wenyo Pagan can come down to Accra or to the southern Ghana within 5 hours. It's just like Takoradi to Paga, or southern Ghana to northern Ghana, Kulungugu or whatever. It's just like London to Glasgow. It will take 5 hours, the train is there. And see, Diana won't be free Paga ever down, whether it's yams or whatnot, as an example, Empro. Instead of driving on the road, they take.
So do you think the promises were too much?
No, it was not too much, but that's why I say careful planning prevents pathetic performance. When we're planning carefully, and can implement it. So, but they dreamed of the thing without a plan. It's just like building a house. Without the plan, you're a good builder. But without the plan, no, you want to trap up, so you will be a hopeless builder. It will crash. You didn't plan. That's why we got architects there. They're not stupid. They plan a house properly before we build.
But then, what is the learning from it? Because they know that they were struggling, but they still continue on. And then, what is the reflection from that?
Thank you very much. The reflection that they are only waiting to go out of power. That's all, out of government. Ghana these days, we don't believe in military takeover again. In the soldier for now, they have relaxed. We are all watching them. Do you understand? So you need blame CCI, blame or MPP and so SDC. Forget it. Momo be an yoku. No more be a show. I tell you why you won't listen to.
But then, what is the way forward?
The way
for
forward,
the people who are suffering.
Then we have to unfortunately.
Hold on. Last week we know we didn't come or say fares have gone up. Trotro no kosro. Ediane kosro.
Yeah.
Electricity kosro. Gas kosro. Honestly, ni pay no baby egina. So how do we expect this person to live?
People live by any foul means. They live by any foul means. One small boy be in Cape Coast Mukoto, top up, God knows what to do. Meniska, Micheliska, so on fire 20 cities in Guru, or the other by 1 city. Do you understand? Small boy. who could be my son?
Who could talk 20 Ghana cities? I don't know about
no, me chen 5 cities or 10. So for 20, who say for some people we is a local guy. No, one city go so. What do you say?
I'm telling you, so
when I phoned London, they said you've gone out of credit. Then you know what I said? I said, what's going on? They said, oh, that small boy is an Azar boy. I said, what does it mean?
Was he still there? He was gone?
He was there. I went past him. I couldn't question him. He looked like my kid. You know what I mean? If your kid deceives you, you're not going to kill him.
Yeah.
The poor boy, he was not in class. He's supposed to be in school. In the school time, the poor boy was under the brolly and selling. You understand? And see, bad ideas goes to everybody's head in Ghana. If you see a poor woman with a baby at the back, and carrying some stuff and selling on the Accra High Street, it is ungodly. It is not godly. Nakupon pensa. You punish the baby, 2 or 6 month old baby, no, she will cheat. No, she yes, the woman is stupid, but she has no choice. The woman has no choice. I'm giving you one example. Ghana, I saw what I saw. Are you good? Poor person, a rich, disabled person, people in the high street begging for money. Ghana government does not see. I'm not saying only Akufo-Addo or whoever governments they are. Assemblyman doesn't see. MPP doesn't see. Member of Parliament does not see. Cabinet Minister does not see. And the President hasn't got a clue that this is happening in Ghana. Now, no Akufo-Addo is a Ghanaian. I know him. I knew where he lived. Matey, Ridge, also to opposite Nima. I know where his father's house was. Do you understand? So he cannot pretend that he doesn't know there are poor people in Ghana. You understand? That's what I'm saying. Mr. Bawumia is the worst of it all. For him, he comes from a seriously deprived area in the north. I wouldn't even say Accra is deprived area, Cape Coast or Takoradi or Kumasi, but that deep north, a very much more deprived area. Therefore, if you come there as vice president, please come down to Accra and deliver for the people, not just there are poor people. Abject poverty is up there. Most people come down. And when I want to do my campaign, they came down. They came down to Accra. Accra for, those who are from the north, they were going for elections. When we buy Accra, then we give them transport. Mr. Kura, we gave them transport to go to the north. Then when I saw them assembled, I asked, what's happening here? They said they are going to vote. Vote where? We are going to know to vote. So we PPP, we give them a big coaches to take them to North, just to go and vote and come back and do their job.
So should the Bawumia and Nana-Addo apologize?
Not even apologize, they have to correct, amend their act. It's sad. If somebody has to come from...
What have they done? That's what they will say, because they think that things are going...
No. People who are listening, Mr. Kura, we are not doing for Bawumia or Nana-Addo. People Ghanaians who are listening, I hope they listen good. I give only one example. I'm not saying it's only upper regions where there's poverty. Cape Coast itself is a village. There's no job in Cape Coast. A palm and all that, forget about that. There's no job, apart from a few colleges and universities. If Cape Coast is central regional, a hopeless area, you have to come to Accra to look for jobs. But Bawumia did not know Dr. Bawumia's case. The northern regions, northern regions is 50% of Ghana. Bolivia, Siwa, when they kill people there and all that, nobody knows until somebody is dead. Then the police come to say, if you see the killers, let us know. How can they see? Because there are few police men and women up there.
Thank you. Well, you heard everything, including Dr. Jampo's assertion that... someone is calling. I'm sorry, one second, Sabato. Good afternoon. But you want a friend, not free.
Your friend Richard, because that will not be.
But you want to, but you want to say?
Your friend Richard, because that will not let you.
North London. You Richard, now what if you be a dear Coso?
Much be the Anna Brapini. Man, no, can say, Madam Lassie, and maybe on two, and I also,
Mr. Kate Yosin, honorary chairman for Progressive People Party UK. And we also have Sabato, who is a member of communication team for NDC.
Okay, Sabato name is Thomas. Now, Jamaican said, man, I can send me the young. Now, Jamaican say, now I say no. So, First no. Na enkwara isi edwuma se watia ko school na akoto na edwuma so se wo sua de pam o di ko 15 ekuchie 15 edwuma akoye woda no. Se ka na bi ni ko. Obi ko school bi ape edwuma ye government edwuma ye. Ese na edwuma ni ho, se na se technical schools no. Ana obi na more, ni nya tra edwuma. Obi ko school bi nya edwuma ye. Ese technical school on no bet nya ko. Check, me na na not ko to okoye yi paye. Oh yeah, you are. Oh yes, but you see, you'll be a better human. It means that you must be a me for that game, yet human. You see, open a woman when the father or cap from where you cannot. If you open a here. And of the number of the other partner. If you're a government, will be a grass, the toilet is here, but I'm a toilet. As a first, you take what I know. You're quite a red man. Yeah, the game near their poor. So you may know. Yeah, stop on your government. But for your friends, I'm in your duma. China for you, if you China for Benin, well, it's Uti and Crasses. So, toilet, I said, I find a cook for the free incline. And the toilet, my one, bra. We have another one thing. Not so too many ideas, but I found the clean mouth. And the near boy of man kind of crack. And this is bow, bow, the same thing, yes, I remember the wrong time, don't you go, you got it. Sir, at the end of the day, about the room more. But, say, Ghana, who power for Ghana, not yet to go Ghana. A man, I have a ship. The player, a moment for my dear, and the other, everything up. I'm going to shake him. One of those, that's one of the idea of my mouth.
Thank you.
Yo,
that was Bebre, Richard. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Richard.
Mr. Profu Bimpe want to join us. Sabato, go ahead.
Yo, Minia, Baumia, Nana Akufo-Addo, entire government of MPP, and another Daumano. The antecedent he expected President Wayne say, okay, during the COVID time, follow Ghanaians, you know. This is the most difficult time a China no cry was so about bonting na one Ghana for kasa. Say the ekosuni and she say ya wayeni. And sana one Ghana for bekasa was so patcho. Because on say me buy makika Twitter
Baumiane patcho anana.
Na Akufo-Addo on the head.
Yes.
Enti wano patcho wa eko cross so dem chere no. Edi na ye kase omo paate we ye nesese makeka omo Twitter omo sende ye ni bi akere wo ni atiefo a omo hwe ye ye call IMF se de meka ye no 2015 March no ye nanso se ye call IMF no ye ntie de Baumia tweet okan ye edi na okan ye Mr. Chairman, the IMF bailout was totally avoidable if the government had listened to sound advice from many quarters. Baumia and I told to say, Ghana for NDC, ye tear or more advisor, can call IMF no. Much earlier, but the government refused to listen. They believe in their own propaganda and said, Yenti will be our crisis as a mononzo, one of them. Baumia keep on saying, say, IMF of one corner, Becca Sachere Ghana for ye beti, entino, ye failure. So clearly, no, all the promise and Nana Akufo-Addo included 1 million to each constituency. They stood up on the platform to say to Ghanaians and say, Yabama constituency be 1 million. Many woka say Nana buy 1 year bida. Even common fund, echo district, home, dia ye normal bakubi anko. MP's common fund, Enokrana anko. They are still in arrears. Even Akufo-Addo and Nankasabaya or more employer or more just to make sure some more bibi ketu bi mo or more swaka so more ye jumano. Ya good say jumano last September yano. They are in arrears of 10 to 12 months. Teachers and training allowance they campaign strongly against John Dramani Mahama no. And they are all in arrears. And everything the government is running in Ghana, no, they may be running, but they are running it in arrears. So they have every responsibility. So I catch the Ghanaians say, "Omo, sorry." And if they have any alternative going forward, Nana Akufo-Addo will stand. Said they want my platform. Ashe Ghana for him. I catch them where they got it wrong, what they are doing. Then it be a confidence be because this is the government. They have lost the credibility. The ecosono and you credibility ni ho. Say Bawumia kasa bobo Nana-Addo kasa nda yentie no. Na onimade ewomu. The only funny thing is Mr. Ketuyasin. How would you feel say if you are a Ghanaian? Knowing the difficulties we are going through, and to see the president going around with a lot of cars, Kumasi. At this time, you can president. What time we fear? What farm for? What adjoining from all the angles? So the beya here ye kumu ye be free muno. This is the time I offer car. Edi we chika se di we china man for car. Ebeburu 25.
Yenya.
Oh bendi ye fuwe. All in the name say who commission
MPP are joining. However, Ulandia ne yamana ba no answer our questions.
Oh, Omajuma na aye den Kwaku Bimpe Omajuma na aye den. There is nothing to say important. Omu wo bibi ka enka CCS ni no. Omatimi aye nhyehyeye masa o how ya aye komu yetimi afiri. But they make can say Nana-Addo should know say where a time say I was semeko. Ni kwa semeko because me say Oma we ya yetimu. There is no way say this difficulties. Prime Minister befa ka say di nechi. Say or koto wo baby. Da. Empo o dey say 2 cars bi 3 cars bi a. Na o de nam. Na o nam ni enkuru na uguso na ko because the president will not seek for election again. Now when dey am ya pansa na unu yi bai. Dey eyam ya say obeye ye na oni knowledge. Na dey am dan say yen some we Ghana for so no Mr. Ketuyasin. If Ghanaians could have not voted for Nana Akufo-Addo and na nyama mfambasa na ye was situation ma nke ebenya obi obekunu ho ebenya obi obesha akonfo ebenya obi a lot of things will happen demonstration why mama Nana-Addo am president enti na cement bo ayeden mama Nana-Addo am president enti na fuel bo ekosoro mama Nana-Addo am president enti na dollar no enti mean sustaining with the city no mama Nana-Addo am president enti na Ghana and the eka amene all these things
one viewer
all these things and kebe koso wo Ghana kebenya amanfo a omu 60 to so especially yenu MPP for ya omo dey afak ne let my vote count for ya graduate tuition for so omu na ye MPP for and ka normal and ka ebe koso ni but under the leadership of Nana Akufo-Addo na dey ni ehu and then the okasa krempa no atuchi ka ma me that ni.
Thank you. You be say want to us Kwaku good afternoon. Good afternoon, Kwaku. Can you hear us?
Yeah, Bobby.
What you can?
Oh, me talk about. Good afternoon.
Na and the Yeba program. Welcome, oh, yeah. Sister, we joining us.
Thank you very much. May I'm just taking lunch from work, and I'm going to be on and off camera. If that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, one question. Aba in light, you know, and say Yeba program, yeah, mama, so the message or the my and say Nana-Addo Mrano omepa the whole country a chow on Bawumia for putting the country into such economic crisis. How ena daughter Jampo so say Abeka say Professor Ranford Jampo say Abeka say and Opese said Tekpe has enough knowledge that can be useful in times of crisis, and that Ken Ofori-Atta should seek his services and rescue the country from this stress we are going through. What is your view about these two? Because when I'm saying we need that much time now. And your own assessment of the current economic crisis we are going through in Ghana.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think that I know one of my guys was meant to be on the show. Now he said he was coming from Manchester, so he couldn't join. So apologies for that.
Yeah, Jeffrey, that's
the
a
show seems Yes, the show seems a bit one-sided. You've got two representatives who are coming from the opposition side, and all they're doing is bashing the government left, right, and center, breathing through their nose and ears, saying all sorts of things to confuse Ghanaians. But one thing I know for sure is that those two people sitting in the studio representing their individual political parties have so far not presented any alternative policy to the policies that they are criticizing. And that is quite unique. So here come her. The Labour Party has been providing through their parliamentary debates alternative policies. So, Muti about power no money ya ba adwuma ye be the same. Winter allowance, electricity bills ye be the same. Water bills ye be the same. Petrol ye be the same. Labour strikes ye be the same. On the other hand, those two representatives have not provided any.
Because you were not following us from the beginning. You need to tell him. No, you were not following us from the beginning. I know, but you were not following us from the beginning because this is something I know. But if you want to reverse that, because it's something that I started with my discussion.
Yes.
I started our alternative. No. I started. I'm not saying the show, but you repeatedly saying that we did not give any alternative. Something I have done. Thank you.
The last bit I'm here, all kind of say, in this time and age. Well, anyway, thanks to you and all your viewers. I forgot to say hello to all your valued and faithful listeners, and hello to those in the studio. One thing I'm going to say, I know all kind of say. So we are saying, President Akufo-Addo to cars who didn't have I mean, that is a very myopic thinking view, a very short-term and very uncoverageable idea to think, say, we are saying to the government business to come to a halt. What a shame. Is that what the NDC is proposing? Is that what the NDC is campaigning? That we vote for them for 2024 to come and sit down and not go anywhere because there is crisis? I think that needs to withdraw that statement. The government business has not stopped. Abai Usuya Juma, point to our president too, never be Ashanti region. Upon provide a lot of the worker, also Ashanti region. I get the point, say the other say, President, people be bringing to fight. I get that argument. But to say so President Trump now or General because we are saying it. How are the problems going to be solved? Oh yeah, Papa, we are leader of a family. Now problem about family, what's the all, but the research because Minister and I can't have a paper truck on the boy. Yet, so problems are other we are saying, and then you so. It is not down to the MPP. And global issues and affect here. Compared to time NDC was one for IMF, there were mainly local problems. We know for sure, say, issues now, there are serious external elements to it. On fear of anything on this national, then I'm sorry, say, missed you. And that is what the NDC are doing. Whatever John Mahama is saying, that is up to him. We need to hear alternative policies that will move Ghana forward. We are talking about your pro-Ghana, joking about governance, and yet tick for tat, and yet grow dear. 2 million almost a deal normal day. Any questions are here, Bisa? On the other hand, government business has not stopped. So last week, President Trump, the government cut the sword for a 4-tier interchange. That was one reason or call. 1D1F on combat process a factory back a brook Ashanti region. Such remains processing factory. And we know for sure, say, so what do you want to say that the envy of many African countries and provided jobs to local people. Jobs comes income. Income comes higher standards of living. And the only way we're going to come out of this hardship is to continue the economy to grow, or for the economy to continue to grow. And one way the economy will grow is creating jobs. In the UK, people are predicting job cuts. Saying, which is the basis of the previous chancellor's mini budget. He was trying to ginger the economy to grow. And unfortunately, many people perceive it to be different. So President Tinubu, and I've been going to find Akko Kumasi Ashanti, Akko Uncover, even one person ever employed 26 jobs and want to travel.
Yeah,
but
thank you.
The same time, Kobe, well, they've said for a while, let me also go through. Because I see some person with TNM. I mean, because I can so. The same time, when the president is entourage went to Ashanti region, they went to complete Comparative Teaching Hospital project I have abandoned for years. President Nko Koswano. At the same time, 330 kilovolts multiple Katanga transmission line projects. President Nko actually increasing electricity coverage to the rest of the country. Government ongoing projects, 120 court complexes. Correct SCMA charges, any appeal court charges, President Kubiano. Then we want to ensure, say, Ghanaians were here to get part of the housing policy of the government.
What you are saying, is all good, but my question is this: say, Sisiano, exchange rate, square echo, one inflation and exchange rate. Now, even now, I mean, it was 15.50. Now it's gone past 16. So people are even scared. Say, by Tuesday it's going to be on the 20 cities. Investors, this is impossible for any investor to come to the country. How are they going to exchange their money? We are in a crisis. So what is the plan moving forward? From your understanding.
We are in a serious crisis as a country, and that is what we need to recognize and have perhaps an approach that accepts where we are and that can develop policies for the future. We're in crisis. Let's not joke about that. The city has gone, way down. The pound has gone way down. But again, as a consolation, we are not the only country in crisis. The United Kingdom is in crisis because the pound has flopped. Years. The German city is gone. The Japanese here, and they were reporting yesterday. So we're not the only one. And then the choice, the exchange rate mechanisms and controls, it's not up to local conditions. And international factors account and controlling the exchange rate. At the moment, we are seeing the BS suffer from liquidity, the BS suffer from capital inflows. You expect the countries like ours, the economy, the democracy, are less stronger, more. And that is fine because Ghana was exposed financially because of the commitment we made to the people of Ghana. Because of the 1D1 infrastructure investments, because of the 1 district 1 factory, because of the planting for food and jobs infrastructure, because of the ambulance investments, because of the drones investment, because of the free senior high school investment, because of all the investments we've made, and when they may overexposed into the Saharan by FAT and a little bit more, we do accept that. I understand that the end is the one and one get read. One makes now the now. Say they won't make any investments. Like they ruled the country for all these years, they would not have it takes only the MPP government to move the country forward, and that is what we are appealing with Ghanaians. We know the situation is difficult. We understand that. But the government is working every day to try and solve that problem. As at the next, I know there was about $790 million that was being used to try and show the dollar. That is an intervention that the government has put in place. I do understand also in the last week I had a serious meeting with the IMF to try and go through with that funds from Musikelo. Yes, we have had all these debates about IMF. We've had debates. We say this IMF now here, it's not a preferred option. Of course, saying we are saying from we didn't need to go because we were doing fine before compared to the NDC years ago. And I'm sorry if somebody's uncomfortable with me comparing the NDC and the MPP.
Okay.
Because those are the two main.
Well, we need time.
Just an apologies for that.
We need time, but the my last question, Ansana Sabatu, so Abeka, I'm commenting on your submission. The NDC is saying, say, it's time Ken Oforiatta ever consult with Seth Tepe for his vast experience and knowledge. Then also, Mama is saying that the country is in crisis because of the economic management team headed by John Bawumia, our vice president. Now, this is what they are saying. Say, if these people, Nanado and Reshefoni team, now say one pair different people, new faces with good skills to come in. We're not going to move forward with anything. It's just going to be a story of see that way, because at the end of the day, see the Nukwana Kosro. And what Bawumia was saying, if we remember, when the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. So where we are as a country, can Oforiatta now, if in terms of him reflecting on his own self as a finance minister with a lot of questions heading towards him, where does he go?
Kobe, thank you so much. And the statement that His Excellency made then is still true now. And yes, we're being exposed because the fundamentals are not as strong as we want it to be. But then the reason is that the fundamentals not being strong is not because of our local factors, it's because of extreme external shocks. And that is something that we need to recognize compared to the NDC fundamentals back in 2015. Now, if ex-President John Dramani Mahama can say crisis is due to the bad economic management team management, then he is being a hypocrite. Because the same John Dramani Mahama went out on an international tour and talked and said that Ghana has been suffering from the COVID and the crisis from Ukraine, from his own mouth. So he's being two-faced if he goes around saying one thing, but then comes back home to say another thing. We all know, even my students from the GCSE class economics who understand, say, when there is a turmoil in international financial markets, it's the emerging economies and the weaker economies that will suffer. And as I said before, the government has not stopped working. The government is working every day to try and seek the welfare of the people of Ghana. And no, the best Ghana say, Abano, Yama Bani time, yet Yama Kosono is not prepared. Yes, and I am Pesa Saniman this. But any of the Kokan to call Ukraine, and any of the Koka will be back. Majority. There is the best Ghana could not yet say, and these that will power, perhaps the dollar or the pound would have been worse by now. We know their record. They don't have any record, a positive record to share. The NDC has nothing to offer the people of Ghana, the good people of Ghana. On the other side, the MPP has provided a lot. And yes, we're in the turmoil and we'll continue to argue with humility. So, because we've seen that we've seen people here, sorry, you won't be that. So I can show you apologies for that. I'm not even sure whether you're ever going to come back to power. So all you guys can do is team up with the NDC and bash the reigning government. That's fine for political reasons. But let's be honest and let's be fair. The government is working on a daily basis to ensure the Ghanaians get a better deal.
Thank you.
Part of that deal is that we're renegotiating agreements to ensure that it's now they are never serious. Before this can be ever they're scrutinizing a lot of the documents. They ask a lot of very, very good questions. And our people are answering them with a faith so we can receive the required funding to get things going. All some of the delayed payments now more can a part of characteristics of the kind of economy you all understand. It is to be expected. If your current waiting is the UK today has been downgraded to negative today. So the UK is going to have problems securing cheap financing and paying some bills if they're not careful. This is economics. And to be said once again, economics are here. Let's not go there and argue the other one. When we know very well
Baku, say as you are aware, no, you get support to pay for your interest mortgage, or you will get support to pay for your rent.
That's called job seeker allowance.
Yes. So in the UK, no, this is why many people are saying, comparing ourselves as Africans with the Western world, you know, it's like what they entity any was no comparison.
Yeah.
Despite their difficulties. They say Sabato Suzo or some few things or better no can any I know you don't have much time. So can you tell us what time
you're going to ask me a question on that?
Yeah, what I wanted what the ma omumbusa because we need time.
Yeah. Why no? Me sure that any question be maybe you can see that he was struggling. This is because I have told you the difficult job now is to defend this super incompetent government under the leadership of Nana Akufo-Addo. Enti no nya say ye will be a ye bu say na de ye nua yi kan atiefu atie ni nani say enye bibia wa mba mekasa kra enkeye bi odi omo kan eno ana o maka no 6 good years ebesin da ye ko difficulties in or that so on the responsibility being to say they mismanage the economy or still out they share or they share COVID or they share Russia Ukraine war. Ebi mo si UK ya dangredi ya me ba ya mankan me kan upon all the western suffering no on betimi asabo ya besia upon all their suffering na Akufo-Addo yare a obeba abeje ayaresa ewo UK upon all finance minister o yare a obeko US enti atomre bi a when we are talking within our country yenjina honom I said say at this moment of sensitive Ghana for women eni hu kwan say president etuka edi nipa di na chi all in the name so because what say hardship ma there we can say who reduce the cost you live according to your means. We have said time and time we say government had a large elephant size of government. What's what so presidential staff and the last time we checked 337 and these people most of them are entitled to article 71 now ex gratia no so eno ni ye ka say what size no so a ebeboa the expenditure na ye den aba from of course the meaning eba okeka 1D 1 year maka kire we say so we say we say government invest capital investment ma percentage na ka percentage wise we left office and was 4%. The best of my year since they came to power 1.8. Anything that we say infrastructure building be higher than so a big generating income higher than abre said ye jai lakhs of tuabone terminatrema and even American renovation and a generating higher than Emma Ghana no so they can go on any platform who they are discrediting NDC for discrediting John Dramani Mahama but you could clearly see say the opinion polls at the moment see ye kasano in favor MPP for into omunya mra omonka no ma ebesha Ghana fo nkuna maka kire wo say time ye wome was a president etimini Ghana fo nya kasa 1 said they no wo ye follow Ghanaians no this is the time I was adichie bia every 1 week bia o ne Ghana fo be kasa because difficulties na ye womu no mini abema ye nko mu da wo ye see so a we see so ye told the kind of the dollar yeto aboso kan fo ntu wo shop because of dollar and even in 2414 ni ye wo dumuso higher Kumasi traders just last week they shut their shop all because of the dollar any taxes are ye diegu omoso a omutua entino sa wo ba unya akwanya na wo ba na de ye kani na o kase ye ma alternative amatena ha no maka kire say John Dramani Mahama next government no ye be reduce the size of government ye be make sure say you reduce the size of government because who reduce the size of government what does he do the idea say the government is care what was spending in terms of staff and other no at the back from anasa meboa enti ya bana mo beka say ye new alternative bia your people's manifesto ene kuta me wa hey everything is in there I betimi abo Ghana ho ban am ya kosoro enti mo ba mo say ye new alternative in one other side no mo say ye ne yabon ye ne wa ban mu no yabon enti na ye call IMF and ma read there na Akufo-Addo toti ye de ba umia toti ya akere wo ne etiefo enti how then do you access for alternative abra John Dramani Mahama on the crossroad akasre say reduce the size of your government chase out Kenoforiata na enimonyam enti owo UK edi enti na ye bra akosi Kwatin ya pamono why did the Les Truss resign and them say Les Truss resign you know the market responded the pound so not started picking up because say amount for when say me confidence no e wo form and no dey kasa aban no nye this is the aban awaba onye reshuffle the only nkofo a wo pam wo mo e de wo mo call baby fufuro no e ye Mustafa Amin and Nafisa Atiku Jaba these are the only people on finding some can will be as a memene wo kasa and everything eco negative say you borrow winner maboro China aban bia say ye sika na wose mu nya akonhoma sika amanya bi China aban bia say you see the dollar mu rate no enye corruption under the leadership of Nana Akufo-Addo corruption fight atonsuom enti wo ba na ye ma opportunity a e wo say wo be ka bibia Ghana fo no be hu say ma ye nhihye ye bi since January ye see mu ye see the air swallow air balloon no there has never been a solution and you are here say you are with the side of Ghana.
Thank you, Sabatu.
What are you providing, Medase?
Thank you. Mr. Kitiosin, where are you?
Oh, thank you very much. It's nice to see you, brother NPP gentleman.
He's
Mr.
Mr.
Kwaku
is
Bempe.
the Director of Communications for MPP UK.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Bempe. You are very welcome. In fact, we said other things before you came on board. Hopefully, you will get to know it when you have a chance to do that. In fact, I have to correct an impression that we have gathered here to bash the government. No, sir. That is far from the truth. And then moreover, I picked up on our brother, Mr. Bempe, when he said something that we have no policies to present to the current government. And I will say that it is un-African for a certain government to take advice or submissions from a opposition party. Africans, we think it will be a new apart from us when we are in position. So I beg to differ from that. The MPP government will welcome any policies from us. I don't think it's going to happen because we are Africans. But the most important thing is that the current crisis we are facing, what are we doing to address them? That is, I know he mentioned in his student of economics, of course. O-level economic students, they understand what we are all saying. So what do we do to turn around our situation? We have not done much as a government or as a country because we have not used even the basic things like turning raw materials into finished products. It's not in the equation or thinking of the Ghanaian for the moment. We're not. You have gold, you have to no, you have trinkets, you have full plane called Dubai Koto. And I'm saying, Ghana from they are ignorant. They shouldn't do that. Ghana need full plane. Gold is from Takwa, from Konongo, from Obuasi, from Prisia. Yeah, Dubai gold money, you. And so when a Ghana need Koto, you also say Ghana on Tiapo on the team. It's sick in the head. It shouldn't happen. Now, what we have to do in Accra, in Kumasi, in Kufuor, in Kede, is that the Ghana government, whether it's NDC or CPP or PPP or whatever, no, encourage Ghanaians to manufacture, turn the raw materials of gold. My father was a goldsmith, so I know what I'm talking about. Gold rings and trinkets and stuff like that. You know, I've seen some before. I helped my father in his factory before. We can turn these into finished products and send it to the UK, Germany, and all the European countries to sell. Only we would win foreign exchange to come and support Ghana. That's the problem we are addressing here. So please, we are not here to bash the Ghana government. I believe what I started saying, the Ghana government in Accra or in Flagstaff House or Jubilee House is listening. I believe they are listening.
Nanado, number one,
yes,
viewer
of this station. Thank God. Thank God. You see what I mean? So I want to explain for my brother to understand. I'm not here to bash any person, but how we can get out of the hole in which we are is important. After all, UK, where we're sitting, they got their problems. We know that. You know, the whole world, they have problems all over the place.
in this government or administration, or you don't, before Kwaku comes.
You mean British government or Ghana government? Ghana government. Honest to God, no. I do not have confidence in that because they have not proven to me that they are capable of turning around for the next 26 months.
Kwaku, that is the question.
They have lost credibility.
That is the question. What? That is the question. That what they are saying, and the number of our viewers is saying that they have lost confidence, and in terms of the government turning things around.
Okay, it's not unusual for people to lose confidence under such circumstances. The problem how people have lost confidence. Yeah. And we're not saying that the right thing to do, but we're saying it's say he didn't bash. They didn't bash. But he's made it worse. He's actually insulted the good people of Ghana. Semi cousin, grass, and I was put to Niho. And I say, yeah, Druma, and near the number to test him for treatment. Wasn't he dream kick out? He's insulted the good people of Ghana. Because I don't think he has.
Who is insulting?
The NDC guy is also very, very common. On one hand, or see shops of Kumasi closed because of taxes. On one hand, or see a borrow than any other government. If the government doesn't collect taxes, he has to borrow. That's economics 101. Somebody, please go and do some research on that. It's as simple as that. We do understand that the situation is not ideal. Yeah, TSCSR. But we have to borrow because we're not getting the right taxes that we need to collect. on one hand, if we're collecting taxes, my NDC friend thinks we're collecting too much taxes.
But your budget statement does not support that.
The government do? Sabato, please.
The budget statement from Kenofo Rapa does not say that. The budget statement says you have exceeded all your budget. You have exceeded all your budget. I just want to clarify that.
He's talking about a lean government. He's talking about a lean government. He's very, very confused. During John Mohammed's time, they had a lean government. They overspend your budget and presidency year on, of Ghana cities. So what does it mean by a lean government? Say, Dramani Bahama, about lean government. That is one policy alternative.
Faced with the deficit of 6.5. Mr. Kwaku Bimpa, we left office.
If you were any good at managing the
deficit you are saying at the moment. What is the deficit of Ghana at the moment? Can you tell your viewers? Can you tell your viewers? No. Can you tell your viewers?
Hold on. Please.
No, sometimes we are just making the conversation flow.
Has any or any factor of governing the good people of Ghana could be by now in this position. By now, we will not have to suffer from the remnants of dealing with the stinking banking crisis. By now, we wouldn't have to deal with the remnants of the stinking droughts that happened to the country. By now, we wouldn't have to deal with the stinking job situation that affected Ghana. That we, as a government and a party, had to come and pick up and make investment. Huge investment that brought us where we
see, also with human police,
same old story. But can you tell your viewers our deficit at the moment? Can you tell viewers our deficit? Because it's important. No, I know.
In politics, there is something called mutual respect.
I know, but I'm just asking a question, which I'm allowed.
Okay.
You're not a host. You cannot ask me a question. This is very typical of the entity. They are rude, they are disrespectful.
No,
come on,
bring him order. Put him to order.
Gives the MPP a bit of time to bring the country around. We do accept that we are not.
So what? How long, Kwaku? When you say a bit of time, we know someone with no job, obi a oni adwuma. And I say, oh yeah, Jumani, ni pay in cost ro. Okofo transport a high. Okoto aduane a high. How long do we give these people? They will all die.
100%. The economic argument for me has been the powerful argument ever in politics. This is why the government has not stopped working. The government is trying to promote growth. So we have a better GDP. So we have a bit of money to pay workers. So we have money to make investments. If we don't understand our side of governance, then we've lost the argument. The UK, with the time, yes, they have provided some kind of interventions for us. Interventions it's the same interventions we provided during the COVID time. And even that, people
then you introduced COVID levy. So what was the point?
It's the same interventions that we provided. It's the same thing that Bani was from during that COVID time, not my intervention we had to start. So on one hand, we need to look at the bigger picture. Where do we need to go as a country? We want the government and governance to be at a point where yes sir, where salaries are by your contractors, your workers, that's where we want to be. But we need to work on it. And at the part of the process, they say, as a government, we have to be transparent with the good people of Ghana. And to make all the IMF negotiations, we've been quite transparent.
Thank you.
Put it out there in the public for people to see.
Now, let me ask him a question before he goes.
I would believe that the good people of Ghana say, yes, things are not great. Things are not good at all. It could do better.
I'll ask him a question before he goes.
The people of Ghana are continuously, the good government of Ghana, the good government of the NDP are continuously trying to get that credibility that we need. For people to take some time, I cannot say it depends on the markets. It depends on the international markets.
Can I ask him a question? Because stop him. I don't want to interrupt him.
Mr. Ketiosi want to ask you a question before you go. A quick one, because I know you don't have time.
Yeah, Koku. Yeah, thank you.
Obusa for permission.
They say
I ask for permission to ask you a question. Yeah.
Do your job. Ask the questions. Do your job.
Yes, I'm asking Kweku a question, and this is very important to all Ghanaians. We not too long ago we were promised, or Ghanaians were assured, one district, one factory. Good idea. One, how many factories have been built? Number two, how many human beings have been employed in the factories? And how many factories have not been put in place, and why? That's all.
Mr. Kutiasin, even the employment minister cannot answer this question. Why, Mr. Kutiasin?
Oh, no, I've got confidence in Mr. Bimpe.
Even if he refused to tell us our deficit at the moment. He refused because he doesn't know. And you are asking him about
I believe he knows it. He wants to hold it back. So, Mr. Bimpe, can you answer this? 1D, 1F, how much is left?
Kwaku, Yana Lande.
Sorry. Also, 1D, 1F, sorry, can you repeat that part?
I said,
1D, 1F,
okay, one district, one factory. No? How many factories have been built, and how many people have been employed, and finally, how many factories have not been built, and why? Naturally, there are problems. If there are problems, Ghanaians want to know. Then thank you very much.
But on one hand, I mean, this is what I talk about economics all the time. Economics 101 has to be compulsory subject in school. We have a crisis, and you expect us to make capital investments in factories.
No,
you're suggesting.
No, it came before the crisis. COVID is not an excuse.
Okay.
Ukraine war is not an excuse.
Okay.
okay.
Anyway, if he's gone.
Producer, if you can put us to the Kennedy Japan one before we close off, as I think is.
Yeah, actually, we didn't want to get maybe banter with him, but sometimes it's good when somebody is.
We will talk about Garamsey next week.
You ask him questions of set because so we are buying ultimate can deficit on our boss. John Dramani Mahama left deficit of 6.5. Abayi by 2018 or Parliament, Eko ye emrase. Abayi be the one betting me CD 5%.
Yes.
Some other kaya, by end of your deficit, 17.5. They have chopped our money up to say they have chopped 17.5. Anything and then busa a but of course, only answers to that. And you know, clearly, no.
The line is cut off, and we'll arrange a match for you here.
Mr. Kura, it must not be a banter between this and that. But let us be realistic. That is the saddest part of it. Mr. Bimpe was...
We know, Mr. Osuachan, you want to come on, but I think you have to wait now because we are also showing a video. We will bring you on, right? So you stay on, please.
See, Mr. Bimpe was talking about economics. He's referring to economics.
Mr. Ketiasen, you know the bad thing since Mr. Kwaku Bimpe came in. Our viewers even ran out.
Hold on, please.
Oh.
Because they couldn't bear to.
Hold on, please. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like I was saying, Mr. Bimpe Baye, you know, your viewers no koye. Because people now know. Are fed up of listening to the NDC MPP communicators. Simple because of say the reality, they keep on shifting the blame to others. And I'm
happy because Ghanaians who are listening, they are not all entirely idiots.
Sure.
They understand what is going on. Sure. They are watching us and listening to what we are saying.
Yeah.
And we are talking about logic and facts here.
Yeah.
We are not insulting any government or any political party.
Like Mr. Ketiasin, now we about 1D, 1F. What is the unemployment rate now? Because the 1D, 1F supposed to be creating jobs.
Millions for millions.
And so, unemployment rate, very higher than the NDC. Anything I make a chance say, all sector. And the only MPP in Kasa, emma the word corruption free nanumu mother by 2012-2016 eno na ye omo ekasa ke say omo because it has come to you say attention say the corrupt index rate in favor omo ebra omo two power the west are yeja ho 43% eno ni omo best omo ye so clearly yeba na yenya platform say ya obe can be na what take a portion of the blame no I can say oh and she say ni edi egu akwan mu like I said obe ya western country need Africa who say we energy because they still have something to borrow to us wo yare a oba yare sa ewa manani omo yere nom omo kunum omo nuanom krampo ebe wo a omo kwa be wo ebe wo amanani so clearly when nya no ma ye hia say ye bana ye beka ye ka say ahochira Ghana kom and the state of the city ana do ka say aye ha and the aye boho tamana na do ka say aye ha ni efura ban mu no na ye 4 cities 2 pesos and the ye turn abodi obi esu aboso account for 2016 they give Nana Akufo-Addo and MPP a huge amount of money for their campaigning and the Okona Sankofo way to omu shop because of the currency in there and you are here referring UK to Ghana say we are in the difficulties and no it doesn't
good idea Mr. This is how some of us intend to resolve our problem. There are more serious problems than what
we are about Kennedy Diano. Before we close off, why?
Anything.
Because I think
it is the genuine thing I'm telling you. If you make money in Accra and you tell me you are going to farm, you're a fool.
But there are other people.
If you make money, look, let them say anything. It is the genuine thing I'm telling you. If you make money in Accra and you tell me you are going to farm, you're a fool.
But there are other people.
So,
they've chosen how many? Give me. How many farmers?
Are there successful farmers out there?
How many? How many? What's your definition of success? How many? I want one. There were Koranko pineapple, Safo pineapple. All of them have collapsed. All of them. They were in large scale. What happened? Farming. People have chosen to be farmers. Let them do it. But if you educate yourself, get a job, and you say, you can do processing. But going into that farming, you are praying to God, God, let me be poor, let me be poor, let me be poor. And you'll be poor. Because
you heard the argument there from Kennedy.
Yes.
Oh, or say definition of successful farmer. One. Now, Ghana farming is very important because we depend on farming.
On farmers, yeah, to eat.
To bring income in for us as a country. And after create a lot of jobs for a lot of people. Now, we have a number of graduates who are not in employment, who may have an interest to go into farming.
Yes.
But here we are, where we have presidential candidate for the MPP, who is saying, discouraging people from going into farming. Was it any graduate who enters into farming is a total fool. F-O-O-L.
And this is a member of parliament in Ghana.
Yes.
At the same time, want to leave Ghana. And at the same time, when his own government is spending money on planting for food and job.
So there is a kind of what makes Kennedy said or decided to come up with this analysis about farmers and those who may want to go into farming. The government is encouraging people to go into farming. Here we are, a member of the government is saying, those graduates who go into farming are fools. a definition of the success of farming. Yes, go on, Sabata.
Well, clearly, I don't want to waste my time on a person like Kennedy Japan. Somebody who has
please calm down.
Sorry, a person.
Let's give him a
I don't
chance.
want to. Let me retrace.
It is the analysis. His view.
I
opinion.
don't want to waste my time on Kennedy Japan, a person who has lost credit when he comes to the Ghanaian community. For him to be saying this, and because he will go scot-free, you cannot say this type of. You cannot send this type of
fight
message
against government policy.
You cannot send this type of message across in any advanced democracy and go cost-free. One, you resign as an MP, even it will affect your political.
You can't make that statement in United Kingdom.
Because
you'll be out of parliament.
This is the person who will make a lot of allegations, say all sorts of things, and now he wants to lead Ghana if given the chance. For me, this is the person who has lost a credibility long time ago. Because one, the government is spending money on.
He's very popular among Ghanaian, particular women.
Because
Kennedy is popular among
because he gives them money. He gives money. Apart from that, baby, I watch sika. The another person me train why do me say so? They say. About we hear sika they say yeah planting for food, encouraging young ones to go into farming. On farming no crowd can on tease because ye wo kroma ye who successful farmers are omuye billionaires. And I me boa. It just say omo person omo beboa omo adwuma ye den akoso. Enti na o ka say wo de sika wa kra na so de kwa farming. I don't want to use the last way. So it's a personal the credibility ever for Muntino. The all kind of Ghana for no NTN because you were queer for Honoma or more Sassemu Yanya, a bay or mother. But he careless.
This is a cocoa farmers are all fools.
Yeah,
that's what he's saying.
The
cocoa that holds Ghana. The cocoa farmers are also fools, isn't it? That's what it means.
But I think, and the government is also, in terms of Nanado plan, step 2, or say, other steps will be taken in particular to deal with the unacceptable depreciation of the cedi, reigning inflation, by bringing down food prices. Is a major preoccupation of the government, and this season's emerging successful harvest. How are you going to get this successful harvest with employing people if you are discouraging people to go in?
No, we discouraging. And here is a new Patriotic Party member of Parliament, and somebody he wants to be a flag bearer, and he says farming is no good. That's a very dangerous, serious statement to make. But all things being equal, the presidency must invite him to the Flagstaff House and have discussion with him, because
you think Kennedy should issue a statement again of
no,
apology?
The president must invite him and discuss that problem with him. All the NPP parliamentarians must have discussion with this gentleman, because it's embarrassing all of them in government.
Okay, thank you.
It's a serious embarrassment.
Before we go, thank you very much. Before we go, Galamsey, a lot has been said. Yakanoma Saba Galamsey. Who wants to go first? Galamsey. And Yakika Honsem. Galamsey has been going on from time immemorial.
Let me go first, because Galamsey started from my village.
Yes, go on.
Well, if I say my village is Takwa.
But before you start,
it's a mining site.
I was watching this video, and the man was saying, why ye cocoa funo for so long?
Yes.
And car tie crowd went to be. But since he changed his land, cocoa, you don't know gold.
Gold, no.
Women say, was he what he must die too? That's already a child and I don't know about the quality, and I do be jai.
It's true.
So where do we go?
So where do we go? This is a very serious problem for Ghana government. It's not politics. So how can we stop these people? It must take strong government or even parliamentary decision to do that. That 24/7, we must be there watching these boys and girls. They do it 12 midnight, 2 a.m. and all that. Before daybreak, they will have finished their job and come to sleep. So in order to stop that, we need the military, Ghana military, armed forces and all that, to be on the lookout for these people, because then, Mr. Kula, this is a serious problem that cannot go away as long as there is no alternative for the boys who do Galamsey. I heard stories of a 17-year-old guy in Pristia Bogosu area. He's built 3 houses from Galamsey. 17-year-old, it's not even 20. Just like armed robbery. A successful armed robber, when he goes to do his duties and come, he gets millions of cedis overnight, Mr. Kula. I'm not joking. It's not good. But the boys and girls have no alternative than to go do armed robbery or Sakawa or Galamsey. How to stop it? The whole parliament must sit and think and talk about it, and not call themselves honorables in parliament.
I'm not cutting you, but for Shadanso is saying PPP is not an alternative to improve our country.
Well, that's personal. I will sympathize with the person who is saying that, because we are told that he who knows not and knows not that he knows not is a fool. Which I say, no nim so onim no sebi or akwasia. My final analysis on Galamsey is a Ghana problem. It's not an NDC or NPP problem. It's not a political problem. It's a total Ghana problem. They've destroyed all our water bodies and our farmlands and all that. They've destroyed them. But how to stop it? We must have a good conversation in Parliament, okay, and have the Ghana military behind us to start working 24/7 day and night to combat that.
If the people are taking bribe, no matter the amount of military police you put there, they will pay them and they will take it, no?
It is true, but at the same time, what is Ghana government doing? Have we really led the way out to provide job for the people? My party leader, Dr. Papa Kusindom, was employing thousands of people. This current government has stopped him. All the banks, there are 300 bank branches. He stopped them. Most of his businesses are gone down. Indom had a plan to give job for the people of Ghana. You see, a good job that he did or bad job that he did. It's for discerning Ghanaians to answer this question. So if somebody says PPP is not going anywhere, that person, I sympathize with that person.
No, it's on. Hello, before you continue, Mr. Osu Echao is on the line again. Mr. Osu.
Good afternoon again.
Yeah, sorry for keeping you. When you're watching now.
When you're watching now, Kokubempe, news of the kind, or Kasembi, or Kache, say, Mr. Kitio saying, including you, and then it's about you don't understand economy. That's like kind of kind. So you don't understand it. Like economics. Yes, we don't understand economics because exchange rate is a balloon. We don't understand economics because importers are suffering because we also say sky and 10 at the end of 15 exchange rate. Once one can GDP wants them, one can inflation, one can exchange rate. So what we do is one kind of one can, and then unemployment rate 13.7. What we do is yeah flash program. You see one factory. I mean, the good was that. And Osaya did is a cool and young back on his videos. All research about or the insect can't see anything other than society. It means the sabato is crazy. And as a communication director of NTP UK, obey say Uncle Winning. But that's as much as or Kasa when you're careful. Because this is the only quite any man.
Also, what actually,
Kokubimpe, yes. Yes, we see the Mungo back somewhere, or in Sasa, that's about to name, imagine it. But you don't
observe who observe.
Name of the name is up on here. Yes, and I mean, we chose not to say Mungo back on video, as a communication director, you don't do it on this platform. And only or have a car, MPP flagship program, a man information back home, and secular. Do you know that government communication was part of NPP flagship program, government communication? me see him now. Or more document. They spent 400 million Ghana for government communications. Never mama say. Kokubin private sector this will go in because it's coming a charm of 400 million Ghana. Can it be government flagship program? If you say, I don't say I won't count on. I repeat, me say, the MPP 19 flagship program, all the government communication, they spend 400 million Ghana cedis in the cooler and in the government communication can be a flagship program. Thank you. Let me show.
Thank you. Sabato.
Yo, madam, also asset. Well, Galamsey fight the cola. Yeni na yeni maybe a free back. Abaya by trim na Galamsey yeden a coso. It is a dumusono. Mahama time it was unfortunate. Say we inherited capacity and any being so be a demand and all a was or no. So it is a Galamsey fight. Nanado promised a lot to say Obe fight in 2017. Obe Kaya the presidency at line said. This is the way we need to go to fight it. And you know, you cry drones, $3 million US, just to come and fight the Galamsey. What the drones will be doing is it will dictate where the Galamsey activities are because now I draw my attention. So no drones, there was 3 million acquired to buy drones only for Galamsey fight. And yeah, a medical wine no cry. If you can Google, you find and there's a drones in nano. Ye who baby are drones na day afa. Enti enu no otete enta committee ne
hold on.
Ade amanfo ekodi mu. Nti no ubehu se na Galamsey fight na no na omo de capture more than 500 excavators just to organize it in one place. Who said we all as our minor came together say the air cost on until will be a tea abiding to an amount, never so be our support. Things was moving on the right way.
Yeah, call a bill. Okay. Yeah, Pacho, one and friend after free.
Me being Eddie James, me just about to let Mr. Yossi.
Yo, thank you.
So.
But so can you Japan statement, no? And I got them saying on the same camp.
Okay.
Canadian Japan statement, no? Yes, here would be to say Canadian Japan to say or Kasa. But CSI dream one Ghana no farming ain't yet that easy the way your dream said to know. It is a graduate now over going to farming now. What type of farming you can? You can small scale farming. And I say farming now will be producing in large quantity. You know, so here capital. Ain't no a problem is bigger than near Canadian Japan. I think so. You can say, I think over 70% in your mind, you know, Ghana, you import it. Into as a student, no, what only capital? Or into farming. Or farming is now you are competing with global market. So how are you going to be able to be successful if you go into farming? Yeah, Ghana, we don't produce on a large scale. And an India, no happiness, Titi and Mapa, and go into farming. But only need access to capital. And after you need access to capital, how do you expand your businesses? It's the problem is way beyond Japan. That could be bizarre. One of the government officials almost say a month for back to Ghana to help to invest. Now maybe I say now you open market, foreign goods ever into a market. How can you assure us that small it'll be profitable? Just maybe competing with a foreign company. So, it's a bigger problem. And that is on Galamsey, Makasa same way. Galamsey, I think we're being unfair if we point at one particular government. Sure, the issue of Galamsey, the problem falls back to our constitution. Ninja make us say Siano, Nanado, Akasa, President Akasa, other civil society, so Akasa.
Yes, there were time to bet me and the one because
quickly, very important. I him for so Akasa, or two for so Akasa. Now say Siano, the day you two a Galamse, no, ever you two Galamse. Yes, I say so. Assassins no majority, one when I control, a war control of our assassin, and I info. Then a constitution about info, politicians about info. Politicians ain't me arrested info. They ain't know you can't say you can't until say you play Emma constitution ye juma to be able to say who say only be el baby na assassin yes now or you behind the time you see me arrest you. It's in tier one.
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Jones.
Well, yeah. Sabato.
Yo, Minia. Well, Saturday na make an annuity, ya cry 3 million at the base, the Koto drones are fighting Galamsey. Everything was moving on the right direction. Until when audio Babonting, say Professor Frimpong Water on another intercommittee, no, a show almost say, party here, Sikantino. Yamfa excavators and no others no money because the party here and of course the party here who will be the beneficiary and yana na Akufo-Addo because that time na ye campaign to ye campaign ye Jessica na dia baba you know if you hold on amanfo who say ye nyina na ye say ye fight ade na say a normal that so cause a party for emma mama ye MPP for a benefiting e wo mu dia then we all need to get involved. Na ye nyina no yabam clearly no utimi hu say eno ne ade a eba ya egu Galamsey fight no anka was satam no the president no show leadership say he will deal with the professor from Paul Boatin Ekwawusi and Charles Bisiwa ye hu say on the video OG Sisika to give lances to others to go and mine. Clearly no the president did not take a good steps. These people I may mention they are still free. They still goes free. Sika omunya ye no mugusu din wa bonten. Then ebe kabomu said the na Mr. Yosen kano. Ekuafo no baby hu say they will come from my land. Man farm more mokra they will find a way to come and mine there. Yes. Satam no mimi nyahe. So let's get involved. And no na dia ba bedru baby ayetri. The only person obetimi fighting Galamsey no. The president no. Se said the na wo ka say a soldier for akwanye ye. Enya a soldier for na ye party full soldiers bi a ye dey soldier atade a show man na say ye fa wo mu soldier adwuma mo ne yi wo mo so mo nkogwe ye say adwuma.
The number of things I say kuro ni ye no. Ya ye ba why sorry. It's the number of things I say kuro ni ye na. E does no do ana. See it seems like there is everywhere because then we have crisis in terms of our economy. Then we also have Galamsey. Then we also have other in terms
so who
of
do you blame? Who do you blame?
And this and that.
Who do you blame? Enunti na ye to abama aban, enunti na ye man benefit amemene wo ye ni bi. Enunti na government wote ho no na Akufo-Addo ni ba umia no omo nto nchene, omo nto nsuo. Ye providing ni na omo just to think outside the box, to bring something in when we are in the difficulties. To be a good leader no. And yes, I buy na near what IMF program na 2017, 2018. No now watching success now one better for no difficulties bar. O plans are with the babani or measures no. And no natural how leadership the leadership skills are one. So yenya will be a Hong president no honey because he has failed. Look,
thank you.
This is the president yenya na ne credibility.
Last question now for your close up. Yeah, well, it seems like it's Yao in term. Yes, okay. Yeah, not to say. What in
Martini na member of the Japona at this studio no Abaso. Discussions no.
Yeah, answer we will our question. But say me who to make a trip Uti. A promise na free.
We free Kumasi Sokoban.
Oh, Kumasi Sokoban. Munimo.
Me atonsu.
Minimatonsu. It's not far from Atonsu anyway.
No, program you. How? Kumasi Mall.
So also tree now kind of hot tenti no obusa.
Me ya santini na dize kubu ado na ma santifu ani maguase. Minia. Mitie Canada Japan video na mo boy. But say so president the MPP for to abama no me radio. Say na nka ti say na Ghana ke ya practice kura because ye will be that say ultimate juna say here. Na Ghana ke find ye kopie. Because John Dramani Mahama wo on NDC wo ho na kuafo eni ti se wo mbe ye kua. De oya ye ni say wo unze Ghana say ye wo ma ye burufu wo ma wo ya toko wo ma ye koku wo ma ye enwan ne nkokọ ne ade wo mu nyina ye ka wo mo farmers inti se wadra ya o say e bi a farmer na ye ka say obi ye farmer ye ba chenko a wadi fo inti ya papa John Dramani Mahama wonne ya papa Atames wo ho ye nwan ma no mu ye emo e wo Ghana no ye se wo mu kna e ho ne ye di nya Ghana mo na fedie ya ne na ne de school feeding program nanti ya won kire ya wo mo no nti se ya de monitor ya nkura na nke beduru baabi no na nka fedie Ghana mo no atire wo manum na ya ni nye awo de ya kakra ba ne ade no na ka no na automatic over nti that time ne wo Ghana mo wo system ni aban ba ye no wa mehwe so ye na agu that time akuafo no mo ya poultry farmers NDC aban share akuafo na ya poultry farmers mu nti na nkokọ a na ye kra e ba Ghana no esoti na Ghana for poultry farmers na dwuma e koso wo mo na mu do aburo ani atoko no NDC aban ne John Mahama she wo mu kana nti ne nkra aburo free Brazil ni Argentina ma Ghana nti na Ghana akuafo a ye poultry farmers no mu nya aburo ni atoko ni bi wo Ghana wa ato nti no mo any problem no ne ka se onipa na ye farming na se wo se wo ba president na se adwin we na wo tiri se so bi ye kuani a se be wo obeye po a ne anu uni ne wa ne ye NDC wo ho ne John Mahama wo ho Ghana kuafo na de kokko ko omu ye kokko fu ne du omu di ye omu nya kokko fu no kwa no ye no mo no ba di aka ho enti de oya ya ne se obeyi o makwan ama wo mo wodi nkani abakọ akura na hye wodi nsuo bekọ akura na hye no manya sa facilities we nyina nti so na dia ne ba na hye wodi card e ba wo kwampa nam so nti abasa akuani no na ho ha hye obetina krokasie because o top on the bank ne bo a wo ka betimi dia ba market a ye beto na papa so ama nti se wa motivation na nti ma anko wo mu a kuani no wonya ni je se wo koye the time ane ya bua Ghana kuafo mo mu edom